Hello and welcome to Wyoming High School, where the Indian Hill Braves get set to take on the Wyoming Cowboys in a Division IV state playoff football game. Hello, I'm Larry Eli.
And I'm Elmer Cole.
All right, Elmer.
How you doing
today?
We'll
be bringing you the game right here on the Indian Hill Television Network. I would like to bring you a few highlights from on the monitor. This is a recap of some of the plays that were important in the game 2 weeks ago when we played Wyoming. That was a long kick by Grady Rogers there, a nice punt.
And put him back in pretty good field position early in the game.
It did, but Wyoming, as I watched the game film and went through it, overpowered Indian Hill simply with a running game of number 32. It's going to be interesting tonight. He has been hurt. Whether he plays or whether he plays effectively, I don't know. But in either instance, we've got to contain 32 this evening, as he put a real hurting on us last time we played.
We saw that play over and over again. It's Pope right, Pope left, and he ran behind his big fullback,
right?
Zach Book Avalis, and
that's correct.
They really they just played old-fashioned, hard-nosed football against us.
Well, they did. Rob Stoll, the defensive coordinator, talked about the game. That if you watch your monitor, we'll have a little bit of an interview with his reaction to the last game that we played with Wyoming. Okay, well,
and every great program has a couple glitches here and there. All right.
Well, anyway, Rob Stoll is the defensive coordinator for Indian Hill, and he works very hard at his game plans. And it'll be interesting to see how he might have made some alterations to that tonight, Elmer, to counteract the running game.
Well, what he wanted to tell us was really a 13-point game. I mean, we had some problems early. We fumbled our first, we fumbled on the first series.
Right.
We had a touchdown turn back. So, if we make some corrections and play a little better football, it'd have been a much different story.
Well, the keys tonight, Elmer, as I see it, is Indian Hill needs to play a downhill game. On your screen, you'll see that these are the second four teams. Well, the 6, 7, 8, 9. The 6, 7, 8, and 9 teams that made the rankings for state playoffs this year, and the first 8 teams in each division by region are in there. And Indian Hill finished ahead of Marymount by 5/100ths of a point to take that 8th spot.
Very close race. We got in on Saturday when a team from Coshocton, way east in the state, beat someone else, and that victory helped us get a small edge over Marymount to get in the playoffs.
Well, that's true, and we beat Marymount this year, so that gave us a few of those extra points that we needed.
Other people we talked to was some of the defensive players. One of the big cogs in that defense is Jeremy Hamilton, and here's what he had to say about the defense and what makes it so good.
Wyoming 2 weeks ago, it was a big loss. But their biggest threat, I think, is P.J. Pope. He's a very good running back. He's powerful. He's able to carry the load. He's really not that fast, but he has pretty good speed for his size. They also have pretty good wide receivers, and they have a nice-sized tight end that can, run and drag or run the go and catch the ball.
Threats that it's hard to pinpoint one. They've got a great tailback in P.J. Pope, who rushes for over 1,000 yards this season, and he was a big threat last season. They've got 3 great skill kids, number 9, number 1, and number 25. I don't know what their names are, but I just know they run all over the place. And they got a real big line to go with them. So in trying to shut down their offense is a real challenge.
My important players for Wyoming, I think their fullback, and he's also plays linebacker for them, Zach Bukavalis. He's a tough, hard-nosed kid, and he scored a touchdown on us last time, along with their wide receivers and P.J. Pope. They're a big team, and they have talent all around. I think last week we played very well. We moved the ball very well. We just couldn't get it. We just couldn't get in the end zone. I think if we get the ball in the end zone.
Here are some averages for the Indian Hill defense that has played very well. The total points scored in 10 games. You'll notice that they gave up. Excuse me, we scored 215 points, or 21.5 a game, and only gave up 8.7 on average a game all year long. So they played very well. The offensive average is quite a bit more than the defensive average, and I think, Elmer, that the defense this year was characterized by speed and quickness. It wasn't big, but it was quick.
Yeah, one of the, we only gave up 166 yards a game, only 87 points. Those are pretty impressive statistics for a team that's really undersized, and so they used other weapons, their team speed. They didn't let teams get outside. And
okay.
Send it to a break.
Well, we'll be right back in a few minutes with the first half action, folks. Thanks for being with us.
It is more than a trial by fire. It is a rite of passage. A challenge to join the elite. And if you succeed, if you can master your fear, outsmart your enemy, and never yield even to yourself, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Oh. Folks, we're back, ready for the kickoff between Indian Hill and Wyoming in a Division IV state playoff game. Indian Hill will kick off on your screen from right to left. Wyoming set to receive. Back for Wyoming is number 1, Jeff Davis. Grady Rogers kicks it on the ground, bounces around, and is picked up by number 9, Eric Dancer. And he breaks outside, but he's hit hard and taken down at about the 32-yard line.
Larry, interesting. Kevin decided to squib the ball with Rogers. Sweeney's been kicking off. A little different strategy here in this game to start out with the Wyoming. Larry,
right.
This is Indian Hill's 4th playoff game.
That's correct.
We are 1-3.
Second year in a row that we've been in the playoffs, and last year we won one and then lost a tough one. And big news: number 32 is not in the lineup. Number 1, Dan Davis, is at tailback.
Jeff Davis.
Good news for Indian Hill. So let's see what happens here in this first series. Davis over left tackle, and he's hit 4. No gain, maybe a yard lost. Indian Hill comes hard off the ball.
Well, there's a huge difference between Pope running the ball and Davis running the ball. Pope has.
This brings up the key to the game. Without 32 in there, Indian Hill should make them have to throw, and then we've got to take away their screens and their draws, because I don't think they can beat us throwing the ball down the field all day.
Well,
so
just to give you an example how big a part of the offense Pope was, he has 13 TDs, 78 points, 1,183 yards, 6.3 yards a game. So
right.
That's a huge
and out of the I formation, they run the other side, and he breaks open. And he gains about 9 yards on that play. Nice lead block in there by the fullback.
Fullback is Bukavalis.
Bukavalis made a nice block in the middle there. So it'll be 3rd and about 1.5 yards. And they like to come out of that I formation and pound the ball. And every now and then they'll bring that wing back on an inside reverse, or he'll bounce it outside if that inside is closed. So let's see if they run again out of that I formation off tackle. And they do. And he is stuffed hard at the line. It's going to be very close, but I think he is about 2 feet short of a first down. So they will have to punt the ball. Nice defensive stop in there by Indian Hill. I can't see who was on the bottom of that pile, but I believe that was number 63. And that will for Indian Hill. And there was a number change, and number 63 is Matt Boone tonight.
I think Boone's
but he's going to be short. He's short of that first down. I take it back. It is a first down by 1 inch.
Larry, they got a very favorable spot on that play. I thought he was short from this angle. It looked like he was short.
I think I was thrown off by the angle I have on the first down marker on the far side. I thought that was at least a yard across the line, at least a yard, and it's not. It's just about half a yard across the 45-yard line. So 1st and 10, Wyoming.
You know, they
Double tight ends. Coming with the eye, and they're back to pass. Play action pass, and he's looking for number 8, and he's wide open. And he fumbles the ball. Indian Hill recovers. Indian Hill recovers. Indian Hill recovers the ball on the 40-yard line.
Ricky Hardy got back there to get that ball.
Nice tackle by number 21, Grady Rogers, from a safety spot. Came up, made the tackle, forced the fumble. Here's a replay of that play. Actually, number 8's wide open, and he runs into the flat, across the field, and there he is wide open. Now watch the tackle. He strips the ball from him. That's Grady Rogers, and in comes 69 Hardig. Slides, picks up the ball. He's down where he recovered it since he was on the ground. Indian Hill starts 1st and 10 on the 40-yard line. And an inside reverse. Jeremy Hamilton breaks away. He's going to go all the way. Indian Hill's going to score unless number 8 can catch him. And Jeremy is caught from behind on about the 7-yard line. Wow, what a play by Indian Hill. Jeremy Hamilton goes about 63 yards to the 7-yard line.
This looks like exact opposite of what happened last time. And the first time we had the ball against Wyoming last year, 2 weeks ago, we fumbled the ball, they got it back and took it right down the field.
Well,
here we're doing the same thing.
The keys to Indian Hill winning tonight are we've got to play downhill. We've got to get the ball, score on them, and force them to play catch up. We can't afford to try to catch up with this team. So this has been the harder. The Indian Hill's team has had a real hard time scoring down in this part of the field all year long. Their red zone offense has not been good. First down play, running play up the middle to Jerry Hamilton. Goes from the 7 to about the 5-yard line, a gain of 2.
Larry, did we mention who's starting quarterback today?
I believe
it's Zummy.
It is Zummy Zanders, the freshman.
Playing.
Here's a replay of that first down play. On the 1st and goal, and then Zanders hands off to Jeremy Hamilton, and it's clogged up pretty well in there by number 44, Booker.
He got a couple yards on that play.
Got 2. And Indian Hill runs a sweep, and it goes for, I don't believe any gain. Looks like it will be 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line.
Looked like he had a seam out there, and the defensive end made him go a little bit deeper than he wanted to go.
Well, they've got quickness on defense and closing. Now, this will be interesting. Indian Hill needs to use number 21 in this type of situation. He's 6'5". He's a big receiver, a big target for down here in the goal line. They need to use him and get him the ball up high where he can catch it. So Indian Hill comes up 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line.
I'm sure they're taking the pressure off of Zanders by trying to run.
And they go double wide. And let's see, and they are. Ball is tipped away. They tried to go 2. Zanders tried to throw it 2. I can't see who it was. I believe it was number 2 for Indian Hill, Ali Kendall. It's incomplete, so Indian Hill will go for the field goal. The kicker for Indian Hill is Grady Rogers, and he'll be putting the ball down on about the 12.5-yard line, 12.5-yard line. So it'll be a 22-yard field goal attempt for Indian Hill. Team is set, snaps back, ball's down, kicks away, and it is good. So Indian Hill takes an early 3-0 lead on a big offensive output in that first series. The big play being a 63-yard run by Jeremy Hamilton.
It was good of us to get something on the board from that drive. We stalled a little bit on the goal line. I'm sure Kevin run those first 2 running plays to not put too much pressure on Zanders in this first series here.
Right.
And then Rogers booted it right through the middle. It was a nice placement on the right in the middle of the field.
Good snap.
And he hammered it home. So.
Well, it's exciting to see Indian Hill off to a good start, but again, it points up one of the weaknesses the team has had this year, and that's red zone offense.
Right.
Being able to take that ball and stuff it in the end zone, as we don't have your son this year. For you that don't know, Elmer's son is now a college football player and was a great, great running back for Indian Hill. 6'2", 220, and not only ran through people, but ran over them and could put the ball in from not only in the end on the goal line, but from a ways out too. So,
well, we had big linemen last year, and he played the fullback position and really could blast open some holes. And we had to adjust this year to a different style of play.
Right. And Indian Hill again kicks off, kicks it on the ground, down the field, and it's bounced around and fumbled. Now it's picked up. Again, picked up by the same running back, and he is cut down. That is number 9.
That was Dantzler again.
Dantzler, and he's cut down on about the same spot.
Yeah.
Let's see. about the 33, 34 yard line. Excuse me, 29 yard line.
Yeah, about the same place they started their last drive. You know, we want to keep away from the big play, and so Kevin's putting it on the ground and letting his defense take
All right,
over.
32 is in the game now.
Pope is in the game.
Pope's in the game. Let's see. He's had a bad shoulder. He missed last game, so we'll see if he's effective today. I know Indian Hill like to get a good lick on him right away. And he slips and falls, and he's down right away, and he lost no gain, I'd say. So,
you know,
that's good news.
The field does not look slippery out there. He just
well, the field is not muddy, but this time of night, with it being warm, it's extremely warm tonight, folks. Here's a replay of the last play, but it's extremely warm, and there'll be dew on the grass and make it slippery.
Check out the replay here. Pope, this is first carry of the night. Just goes to the right. Bucavalo's leading out there, puts a block, but
all right, and they
he never
go
gets the line.
Double wide, send a motion man with just a fullback in the backfield. And they run the quick trap in the middle, and he's stuffed for about maybe a yard gain at the most. Indian Hill penetrated on that trap play and was able to stop it very quickly in the middle. And that was number 69 Hardy coming off the bottom of that pile deep in the backfield with the penetration.
That was a big fullback, Bucavalis, and he had some success last week.
Right.
And so it's good to see his
now
first carry.
This is where Indian Hill should shine because of our quickness. It is third and about 8.5 yards. And they come out in I. So got to take away the crossing routes from what they saw in the film, but out of I, they might even run screen or draw. They fake the draw play. He rolls out, and he's throwing it back over to 32 on the far sideline, and he says he's out of bounds. Did not come down in bounds. So the play was wide open. Nice play. Fake the draw play to 32. He came back around in. He was somewhat covered, but he was open, but he caught out of bounds. That brings up a 4th and 9, and Wyoming will have to punt.
Here comes the replay. The
Well-conceived play. It's a well-conceived play by Wyoming. You know, they pulled a lateral halfback pass on us last game to score a touchdown, kind of broke the game open. That was kind of a play they were looking there for there on their offense, I think, today to maybe break a big one for them. And it's a nice spiraling kick. It's coming down to Sweeney, and he catches the ball and is tackled immediately. Sweeney is tackled on the 25-yard line. Sweeney and
well, that's
McLean,
one of the
for Indian Hill. Price McLean both led the city. They both had over a 34-yard average, I believe, in punt returns this year.
Sweeney
so
had
excellent coverage.
Sweeney had a 34-yard average and 10 kicks, kick returns. McLean had a 33-yard average and 10 kick returns.
Right.
They're 1-2 in the city.
Right.
And that was one of the few times they didn't get off a
Indian Hill comes
return.
out in double wide. Both sides, they run quickly. Off tackle, Jeremy Hamilton around end, picks up about 2 yards. That'll bring up, about 1 yard. 2nd and 9.
You know, Jeremy didn't have much room over this side. He had to shake that first tackler to get any positive yards and just couldn't do it.
All right. Indian Hill back in the huddle. Again, Zummy Zanders, a freshman, is a quarterback, and he played last week a lot, and he threw extremely well against Glen Estee. So a little more pressure this week. I hope he stays relaxed and is able to release the ball. Indian Hill goes double wide to the right with 2 backs in the backfield for blocking. And they fake.
That was Kendall that took the ball over the right side.
Well, they actually run an X by the backs in the backfield. That was the play they ran, opening play of the game. They ran it to the other back, and looks like that's no gain. So it brings up a long 3rd down play of looks like 10 yards.
It's a tough call for Kevin and Zanders. He got an inexperienced quarterback back there.
That's okay. You just got to go ahead, throw him in there, let him work, and 1 or 2 interceptions. That's the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
If it happens, it happens. If not, that's fine. They're still playing Pope out there on defense.
Hopefully
they're walking him away when we go double wide. They're walking their linebackers away, so Indian Hill should be able to get. And there's the ball to Sweeney. He's wide open. The ball's just overthrown, but he was wide open.
He got a little held up in the line of scrimmage and couldn't catch up with that throw from Zanders.
Well, that's inexperience, though. That when Xander sees his man breaking open, you got to put a little air under the ball and let him run to it. He threw a nice pass, but just a little bit overthrown. That brings up 4th down and 10 for Indian Hill, and hopefully Indian Hill pick up some yards on this punt exchange of punts here. Back to punt for Indian Hill is Grady Rogers, number 21. Had a good year punting the football. Good snap, gets off a low end over end kick. The ball comes down. Looks like they're going to run a reverse, and they do. And number 9, Dancer, but Indian Hill sees it, tackles him, but they pick up about 10 yards on the exchange of punts.
You know, that reverse didn't fool anybody, Larry. I mean, they ran it north and south instead of east and west, and didn't get the Indian Hill defenders to go, go to one side of the field or to the other.
Well, they picked up about 5 yards, but it was just simply that they had a little better job, a little better punt than we did. So they have picked up about 10 yards on the exchange of possessions here. So that brings up 1st and 10 for Wyoming on the 46-yard line. They're in that I slot, and here comes a reverse. And Indian Hill sees it coming and plays it very well. 69, Ricky Hardy.
69 made the play, but Boone, number 63, is the one that turned that up outside. He stayed at home on the reverse. He fought his men to the outside and made the running back number 25
okay,
is
now that brings
Anthony
up a
Wright.
Second and 9 for Wyoming.
See, Pope is still in there. Oh, that's number 1.
And Indian Hill gets a pass rush and throws their quarterback for a big loss. That is number 2 for Indian Hill. Holly Kendall gets in, and here's a replay of that. He breaks in on the pass rush. I'll tell you, Holly's not a big guy, but he is active, and he gets the sack. That's a big, big play for Indian Hill. This is where Wyoming likes to run their screens and draws.
You know, Kendall's had a big year for us in sacks and tackles for loss. That's his 19th of the year.
Right.
He's in the top of the city, and he's really doing a great job there. Didn't bite on the fake, came right back and took the quarterback down and put Wyoming in a very tough 3rd down and 20.
All right, well, again, this is where they run the screens and draws. There's a draw.
Draw to Pope. It's wide. It's open. He's got it open.
That's okay. He's got
nice,
a few yards, but
nice tackle.
not
by
enough
John
for the
Perrin.
1st down. He picks up about 9 yards, brings up a third and about 11.
You know, that's how John Perrin, who's 160 pounds, can bring down a Pope. If you
Here's
watch
a
him,
replay of this play, and that's a good hit. Hopefully, that's on his sore shoulder, and
if you
he's a tough kid though. 32 is a good runner. All right, back to punt for Wyoming is number 52, Neil Smiley. Gets off another pretty good punt. It's going to go out of bounds, so it's didn't get all of that one. It's out of bounds on the
Larry, that's
25-yard line.
Larry, that's one of the things they did against us in the last game. Is they you know, that one of our strengths is a punt return game,
Right.
and they punted out of bounds, so Sweeney and
Right.
and McLean can't get their hands on that ball, and it takes away one of our weapons. So
Right.
we have to look for that.
That's been a big weapon for us this year. You're right, it has been. So Indian Hill again, 1st and 10 on the 25, right where we started the last series of downs.
This is our 3rd offensive series. First one resulted in a field goal by Rogers, and the second ended in a
And
punt.
Indian Hill double, 2 backs in the backfield, and it's a run and no gain. In fact, it might have lost a yard.
That wasn't a very smooth exchange back there, Larry. I mean,
No, the snap was high. It made it hard for Sanders to get the ball down for the exchange.
right. They might have to put this in the air on 2nd down this time. instead of
2nd
waiting
and
till
11. They're
3rd.
going to have to do it. They're going to have to come up with something. The running game has been spotty all year, not really real consistent. So Indian Hill comes with 3 wide receivers to the offense's left. Wyoming walks away several players, try to take away, and number 2 is, and that ball is not caught. I'll tell you, number 2 is down the middle, wide open. I don't think Xander saw him.
That was Sweeney did wide open right down the middle.
Yep,
He
Sweeney
tried to throw the ball, get the ball to Sweeney over on the far
Sweeney
side
was
of the
open,
field.
but I think the ball was just out of his reach.
And again, Sweeney slipped on that play, Larry. I mean,
Right.
I think it's
well, there was a lot to do when I was down on
yeah.
the field before the game. Here's a replay of that last play. The ball's away, and Sweeney unable to get to it and catch it.
Make a pretty good effort, but just can't get his hands on it.
All right, that brings up a long 3rd down. 3rd and 11 for Indian Hill. Again, send 3 wide receivers left. They may run the same pattern.
I think I'd like to see him get the
Send
ball to
motion.
Rogers.
And that's got to be a penalty against the offense.
Some kind of call, some illegal motion on the offense is going to make this 3rd down a little bit harder to pick up.
Yep, that brings up a 3rd and 16.
3rd down to 17, according to that new scoreboard that Wyoming just put up here. This is brand new this year. This game, I think. This is the first game they've had it.
Nice scoreboard.
Beautiful.
let's hope Indian Hill passes their bond issue so that we can get the school built, and then we can go ahead and get the athletic fields redone too after that.
Jeremy in motion. And another flag. So mistakes, Larry. I mean, that's part of the problem.
Well, that's been a problem all year long. The offense has penalized itself or shot itself in the foot time after time all year long. I don't know what they're doing here, but I can't tell if there's somebody in the line that's moving, or whether the man in motion is doing something incorrectly, or they don't have a formation. It's an incorrect formation. I can't tell, but it brings up a very long 3rd and 22.
It's just a symptom of a young team. You know, they tend to make more mistakes than a senior-laden team. Perrin back to quarterback.
Perrin back to throw, and he is sacked right away by number 50, Scott Gutman.
That's a good defensive play. John Perrin took over a quarterback to try a little quarterback draw, and Gutman sniffed it out.
Here's a replay of that, and you'll notice number 50 comes off the ball hard to the outside. Little Perrin tries to make a move. He's right there with him. And now, Indian Hill really needs a good punt to get it out of this dangerous field position. Pretty good punt by Rogers. Number 9, Dancer, fields the ball at and Indian Hill covers it well. He fielded it at the 40-yard line, and he returns it for no gain.
That was Hammer down there on that play.
Right.
Number 32. Matt Hammer.
You know, we'd like to win this game this week. I wanted to mention that the Indian Hill Middle School, the 8th grade team beat the Wyoming 8th grade team 52-0, and we beat their undefeated 7th grade team 44-0. So I'd like to put a third pacing on them this week if we could, but we'll see how it turns out.
Again, Wyoming's got pretty good field position on that exchange of punts. I mean, they're picking up about 10 yards with every exchange.
Right. And they send in motion. And they run the fullback on the quick trap in the middle, and he gains
about 5.
4 yards, and the tackle was made for Indian Hill by number 74, Sam Werderman.
The Sam on that. Sam's played big this year. Big sophomore defensive tackle.
Well, the majority of the players on the Indian Hill team this year are sophomores. I believe there are 3 or 4 seniors and a couple of juniors, and everyone else is sophomores.
Right.
So
young team.
Very young team. That's
a lot
made
of promise
young team
for
mistakes.
the future.
They're back in the I formation. 32 is not in the game.
Number 1, Davis is the I back.
And they run the tailback, second back through. And
he had a little hole.
Through a hole. He scooted through a hole and fell forward. Looks like for a first down.
You know, he got a good running start on that one,
yep.
And must have saw a little seam and just scored it right
well,
through.
Their fullback, number 44, Bukavalis, is doing a heck of a nice job of blocking.
If you look the replay now.
Here's a replay. You'll notice that he just kind of scoots through a hole and falls forward. Doesn't really get knocked down. He just gets tripped up. So 3rd and 1, split backs. Probably run the dive play. Send him in motion. And there's a dive play. And he picks up the first down, goes over the top, and picks up about 3 yards, more than enough for the first down.
Little power and a little speed. They're they run the big fullback, number 44, on one play. They bring a speed back in another. A little change of pace for the defense. It's hard to keep up with. Here comes the number 1, Davis, in motion. Ball snapped, and it's a straight dive right up the middle. If you look at the big fullback, he just runs right over people and picks up the first down.
First down, I lead, and big hit in there. I tell you, that was a big hit, and I believe that was Jeremy Hamilton.
Jeremy Hamilton's been making those hits now for 3 years on the defensive side of the ball, and he came up and just stuffed him, almost hit him in midair, Larry.
Well, he did. He caught him when he was in the air.
There you go. It's a good time to catch a running back. They got no leverage when their feet are off the ground, and Jeremy gave him a good hit.
Yep, and it'll be a 2nd and about 9. So they come out now and
single back
in the backfield.
Davis is in the slot on the left-hand
side. So they've
thrown
out of this, and they've run the fullback. So there's a penalty flag there, and it must be an offensive penalty. They stopped the play before it started. Coverage of tonight's game on the Indian Hill Television Network is a presentation of the Indian Hill High School Video Department. The video department provides the community with educational and school-focused programming through the facilities of the ICRC.
That was the end of the quarter. That wasn't a penalty on it.
Okay.
First quarter just scooted right by.
Wow, it sure did.
Pretty much, back and forth kind of football. Indian Hill got the only score with that first drive. Long run by Jeremy Hamilton. A couple punches into the line. He couldn't get it in, and Rogers booting that 30-yard field goal. So it's 3-0 Indian Hill. Pope is on the field, but he hasn't been in the backfield. I think they're protecting his shoulder.
Right.
And using Jeff Davis to do the running duties. They still seem to be pretty effective on the ground. Davis
so far they have been. Primary reason has been the blocking of their fullback. He's coming through and doing a great job. They also have a pretty good offensive line.
See, this is our season averages for the Braves offense. Total points scored 215. Their defense has only allowed 87 points. We're way ahead in yards per game, about 100 yards a game gained, more than we've given up, 166.4 yards a game. So, a pretty good overall season effort for the Braves. And, we need to keep it going on this particular game. We only gave up 87 points. That was low in the CHL. Wyoming wasn't even the next one. Madeira gave up less points than Wyoming did this year.
Right.
So this team can be scored upon. We just got to put it together. We've got to keep them stakes to the minimum.
Right.
And play the second quarter with the same kind of intensity we played the first.
Well, Indian Hill now is in 4-down territory. They're 2nd and 8 on the 30-yard line. So they're not going to punt the ball, and they're probably not going to try a field goal from this far out. So my feeling is Indian Hill right now is in 4-down territory. They've got to make a
This Wyoming
stop.
has the ball.
Yeah, Wyoming has the ball.
Right.
Indian Hill has to make a stop here in a hurry.
Again,
And again, it's off. And, that time that was just good backside blocking. He simply ran to daylight. That was a nice job of blocking on the backside guard and tackle, left guard, left tackle, in that the play was designed to go over right guard, and he cut it back. And
there's not much.
that brings up a short 3rd and 1, and this is
They're putting Pope back on for this one.
Pope is back in for this one, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the ball on a sweep.
It's up right up the middle. Hit hard.
He is hit hard, and I don't think he made that one.
That was
No
Boone.
gain.
Boone got the initial hit on him.
I think that's probably a no gain, and we'll bring up a 4th and 1.
I'll tell you who else that got off that pile has done a good job all year is number 53, Derek Broughton. Derek Broughton stuffed up that and brought up a 4th down.
That's a 4th and a long one, so Indian Hill got to suck it up and take the ball away here. This is a big play early in the second quarter for Indian Hill.
Boone came off the defensive end position to get that done. 4th down, big play here, Larry.
4th and 1.
Line needs to make some good positive penetration. Number 25 in motion.
They
He
tried
calls
to get
timeout.
Indian Hill
That's
to jump,
what it is.
and
They
they
tried
didn't,
to get
so
him to
they
jump.
called timeout. So let's see if they are going to huddle to run a play or whether they're going to try a field goal. They have a pretty darn good field goal kicker.
And I think they're gonna talk this one over. I think they're in field goal range. This would be about a. Indian Hill just snuck in here on the playoffs by 0.05 of a point, and they just beat out Marymount. The next highest team was Madeira. They're going to a tough game with Germantown, and Wheelersburg had the 6th spot. So those are the 3 teams. Those are 3 of the 4 teams that go on the road for these first-round games. Madeira, I don't know if I'd like to be Madeira going up there to Germantown Valley View and playing in that hornet's nest up there. I think they're in for quite a ball game.
Germantown, for you folks that don't follow high school football, has been an awfully good team for a long number of years. Their coach does a great job up there, and
I think that
I think they've won I think he's won 4 state championships.
I'm trying to think, Larry. I've heard that I think he's going for the most playoff wins in the state this year.
Right, as a coach, yeah. I wouldn't doubt that.
Uh-huh.
They are a very, very well-coached, multiple offense team.
Right.
So, Wyoming is lining up, and they're going to go for it on 4th and 1.
Larry, if we win this game, we might get to play those guys.
Well, let's just get through this 4th down play right here. And they take it off, and it's a 1st down. Pope gets the 1st down. He runs hard off the left tackle and gets the 1st down. I'll tell you, that left guard and tackle been blocking well today.
They moved him back. I mean, he had the 1st down before he was touched, and then he dragged a few people with him to get a few more yards. Made him work for that one, though. It is the.
Here's now first down and 10, and the ball is on the 15-yard line.
If you look at the replay, you got Bukovala coming up here, laying a good block, and Pope does his job. He cuts right off the block and gets the first down. Nice job.
So they're still in I formation with the wing.
They don't come out of
And they
that
run
eye.
the pitch to the outside, and they get the block. Oh, and a
nice
great
play.
Great play by Jeremy Hamilton. Came in behind the pulling guard. Pulling guard came around the corner and didn't pick out the first jersey of the other color to red. He just kept on running.
That was
Jeremy
great.
came in right behind and made the play.
Great speed by Jeremy Hamilton.
Yes.
Caught up with that back.
Yeah, well, that
Grabbed
saved
his
a big
ankle.
gainer. He held it to about 2-yard gain.
There was a lot of daylight there, and
Yes,
Jeremy
there
just
was.
pulled him down.
That play was that play had the corner. So they're back to same formation. And they run off the left side, and Pope cuts it back. He's brought down again by Hamilton.
Jeremy
after
made
about
another
3-yard gain, so that'll bring up about a 3rd and 3.
That was another good play by Jeremy Hamilton. This time, using his strength to block up the middle.
Right.
Still, Pope got some running room up the middle there.
Well, both the tailbacks tonight have had their running room has kind of been, at times, they've made a cutback. They've kind of veered to the daylight that they've seen, as opposed to following the fullback right in the hole.
I formation again, Pope in the game.
Back to throw, it's a waggle. And it's wide open, and that's a touchdown. So, Wyoming comes out, runs a waggle, sneaks it back out into the flat. He's wide open. And the bootleg fools Indian Hill and puts them on the board, makes it 6-3, and they're going for their extra point.
Well, Gale, I was surprised. I was wondering when they'd bring out this passing game, Larry, because Gale's been a big part of their offense, too. He has 65 completions and 119 attempts, 978-yard passing, and 9 TDs. So it's just a matter of time before they brought that weapon out of their little bag of tricks.
Well, that's why Indian Hill really has to force them to pass, not let them run the play-action pass where they're going to fool some people.
Number 2.
And have people wide open.
Number 2, Drew Kozubski puts it up and through and gives Wyoming a 7-3 lead at 9:15 left in the first half here. So we need to get the ball back and answer. Right? They went down the field. They had a big 4th down play that they converted. They're mixing their tailbacks. Their blocking seems to be doing pretty good today, and we got to get them off rhythm. We got to we got to stop them on 1st down. We got to get them in a long 2nd down play or long 3rd down play, so they have to throw when they don't want to.
Yeah, Indian Hill has to dictate to them, force them to have to be a throwing team versus a running team with play action pass. The Indian Hill School District webpage has been updated with an all-new look, with topics ranging from the new bond issue to athletics and much more. Be sure to check it out by visiting www.ih.k12.oh.us.
And there's a little picture of the webpage on the monitor here, and I've visited the webpage before. There's a lot of very good information on there. Very user-friendly. A couple clicks and you can get to anywhere you want to go on that webpage. So I'd encourage you parents that are watching tonight to,
this will be an interesting. Excuse me, Elmer. This will be an interesting kickoff, and I wanted to get it in before he kicks it. Glen Estee onside twice last week and recovered one of them, not wanting to kick it deep either of our return men. So it'll be interesting to see how they try to kick the ball, and they do. They pooch it. And Indian Hill recovers. Oh, nice play by Sam Orderman. That's exactly what happened last week, and the other team recovered. Indian Hill gets a fortunate bounce, recovers the ball with good field position at the 48.
I'm sure Kevin worked on that this week, that onside kick. Sam Orderman was there. He's a big defensive lineman, but he exhibited some pretty good hands there. And what it results in is, if you look at the replay, there you see the pooch kick. The camera just catches Wardeman, gets a hold of that ball, cradles it, and goes right to the ground.
Right.
Good technique there, and Indian Hill gets very good field position.
They sure do.
Xander's back in the shotgun, gets a nice pass. He's looked short that time. He was looking for McLean. Couldn't quite get the ball to him. I thought Rogers was open on the outside there, but he tried to get it a little bit shorter pass into McLean.
Well, he had some pressure right in his face that time, and that's the inexperience of freshman. Instead of stepping up and throwing, threw off his back foot because he had a guy right in his face, and you got to step into that rush and take the hit and make the throw, and that's hard to do when you're a freshman.
2nd down and 10. Indian Hill sending 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side of the field, the far side of the field. 2 guys in the slot. Nice look here.
And Xanders overthrows, number 9.
You know, he had a man open. It just sailed on him a little bit.
Yeah. That's okay. He's throwing the ball well. He'll get into the game and do well before we're done. It brings up a 3rd and 10 for Indian Hill.
We're going back to a little bit of the Zimmer type offense here, where we spread the field, use the shotgun, and throw the ball. You know, Zimmer, the loss of Zimmer was a pretty big blow to this team. I mean, he still shows up in the city statistics with 72 completions and 808 yards. So you can see and he only played 4.5 games. So you can see what a blow that was to the team.
And Xanders, plenty of time, and he throws it deep, and Sweeney has to come back, but he's out of bounds. So that'll bring up a 4th and 10, and Indian Hill goes 3 and out, and we'll have to punt.
Well, Sweeney had a little daylight there, and he did come up with a football, but you know, he was 2 or 3 yards out of bounds, and
well, he's double covered also. He was double covered, and Xanders on that one. You know, the first one he overthrew when he was open, and that one he in essence underthrew.
So we got number 9.
I guess the 3rd time will be the charm.
Dantzler, and who's that other deep back, Larry? Is it 25?
I can't see who it is.
Looks like it's Anthony Wright.
And a pooch kick. It's going to hit the ground and gets a little bit of an Indian Hill roll, and they grab the ball and down the ball on the 22-yard line.
Our speedsters, McLean and Sweeney, were down there covering that punt. And so Wyoming starts on the, looks like it's the 22, 23-yard line.
Okay, these are the CHL teams in the playoffs this year. You'll notice that Indian Hill, Wyoming, and Madeira, 3 teams are in the Division 4 playoffs, and Reading, which doesn't show up, is a 4th team in the playoffs out of our 7-team league.
We got Valley View up there that did have a rare home loss. They lost to Velvet.
Oh, Indian Hill, great defensive play, kind of a late whistle, and I think they may have thrown him for about a 2-3 yard loss. That was a great penetration by the Indian Hill defense.
That was Ollie Kendall in there, John Perrin in there.
Now that's what they need to do. They need to force Wyoming to throw the ball.
If you look at the replay here, number 6 Gale gets the ball, looking for Davis up the middle, and you can see that we just blew up that ball. We blew up the play on the line of scrimmage. He had nowhere to go, and Kendall rides him down with Perrin down below.
Okay, they're in the double wing formation. Quarterback's back to throw, and he plenty of time to throw, and he throws it away.
Well, he got right at the end of that play. Somebody came in there, who was that, Larry? Somebody came in there and hit him just as he was throwing the ball. Looked like Ricky Hardick was blitzing.
Right.
And got him just as he threw the ball, put him off balance a little bit, and that kind of fluttered a little bit. That could have been intercepted.
Right.
Those kind of passes sometimes get intercepted, so we really have him in a hole now with 3rd down.
Right. Again, this is how Indian Hill has to play. They have to play to dictate to them what they have to do on offense.
You know, that Gale had a lot of time that time. He needs to get rid of that ball before the pressure gets
Oh, sure
to him,
he did, yeah.
But a good play by Ricky. Hits him as he's throwing the ball.
Okay. Now this is, again, they've used the screen pass a lot of times in this situation. We'll see if they do that.
Dancer
and there it is.
Oh, no!
Indian Hill scores a touchdown!
Oh, my God. Brady Ward picks it right out of the air.
That's the type of play that
exciting
we've been
play.
looking for. Great defensive play. Picked him off, took it in for 6, puts Indian Hill up 9-7. With a chance to kick the extra point and go back up by 3.
Brady Ward, that's his 2nd touchdown this year. He blocked a punt. He got a touchdown in a game against Deer Park. Here he comes up with a great big monster play against Wyoming. They set up the screen. The linemen they let the lineman come in, and he got off the ground. Here comes a replay. You're going to love this replay, fans. I'm telling you, the quarterback goes back.
It's very rare that you see a defensive lineman make this play.
Here you go. Grady gets he gets both hands off the ball. Gale's going to try to tackle him, but there's no way that Gale's going to break down big, strong Ward before he gets in that end zone. What a play. I'd like to see that 3 or 4 more times.
Again, folks, if you'd like to know why I'm being able to say what they've been able to run a few times in this game, I've watched their game films, and their coach has a little bit of a pattern in where and when he runs plays. When it comes to draws, screens, and certain plays, he likes them in different spots on the field.
That was a good call, Larry. There's the extra point, a little bit low, but it goes right through.
That's one reason Indian Hill defense is well prepared. They've done a lot of film work.
Indian Hill, like I said, Larry, they had to answer that score, and what a big way to answer with a defensive touchdown.
You know the best part about that, though? The defense gets to go right back out on the field. And I used to love that when you play defense, score, you get to go right back out and try to score again.
And they're twice as excited this time.
Yeah. Oh, man, I tell you, that's fun.
Ward's about he jumped 4 feet off the ground to get that. He's walking 3 feet off the ground right now.
It's a new era of Braves athletics on the Indian Hill Television Network. Be sure to catch all the action on this community access channel. For playback times in your area, call the ICRC at 772-4272 or visit their website at www.icrcgb.org.
Nice job, Larry.
I got those PSAs down. So, Grady Rogers set to kick off. And we'll see if he kicks it on the ground again. So far, he's got kicked the first two on the ground.
It's good to say that Indian Hill's taking the
And
lead.
it's on the ground again. Let's hope it bounces funny. Nope, it bounces right to number 9 Dancer.
Number
And
9
he has
Dancer
a good
has
return
little
going.
hole, little
Oh,
hole.
and he fumbles.
No,
But they say he was down, I guess, so
he kept to hold that ball, Larry.
I thought he fumbled. Good return.
Here's Brady Ward again. You see the end of it here. Watch Gale try to
Tries to
tackle
strip
him.
the ball. Tries to strip the ball out and
No,
can't get it.
no way he's going to bring Ward down when he smells pay dirt like that.
I'm surprised Brady didn't try to run him over.
He smelled the goal line,
Yeah.
and nothing else is going to get in
So
his way.
there, 1st and 10
We got 32 in the backfield. Pope, double tight end
on
formation.
the 40-yard line.
They're going
And
back
they
to
won't
their
change
power
their game
game.
plan. They'll be
Yeah.
on the ball right again, and he's smacked hard for no
There-
gain.
We had 4 guys in on that tackle.
Yeah.
Perrin was in on
Playing
it.
inspired right
Kendall
now.
was in on that tackle. Ricky was in on that tackle. We had that was linebacker university back there. I'm telling you.
Yep. Well, here comes the key. 2nd down and long. Got to keep them so they're 3rd and long and dictate to them.
Well, an I team, when they get nothing on 1st down, that really throws them off schedule. So we'll see how this affects their call here.
Well, they're still in the same formation,
Got a wide receiver out there, split a little bit further.
and they're back
the
to
right.
pass. They're back to pass. He's wide open. Oh, nice play. Nice play by Rogers.
Well-
Over the back, knocks the ball down. He was trying to hit crossing pattern number 8, Abdullah, and Grady Rogers comes up from his safety spot, makes a play.
Well, he's one of our best defensive backs, and he did that all last year. Came up and swatted those passes down in
Right.
crucial situations. If you look at the replay, the quarterback goes back to throw, little fake to Pope to freeze the linebackers. He looks for his receiver. Looks like he has him there for a minute, but no.
Well, Rogers is a big guy, too. He's about 6'5", 6'6" back there.
Uses
Tough
those
guy
hands
to get by.
very effectively. He's got good speed, one of the best defensive
Indian Hill
backs in the
blitzes.
league.
Indian Hill blitzes, and the fullback is not going to gain anything. In
No.
fact, he loses 2 yards, 3 yards. Indian Hill swarms on defense, and that will bring up a 4th and about 15.
Ricky Hardig blew that play up.
Yes, sir.
Blitzed right up the middle, hit the fullback before he could get going. Almost the same time he got his hands on the ball.
Right.
He did not make the tackle, but after that the play was over.
So now
you
it
look
brings
at
up a 4th and 15.
Look at the replay here. You can see the fullback running. You want to see a fullback running east and west because they're just not effective running that direction.
That's right. So back to punt. Scott Gutman gets off a nice long spiral, and that's going to go over everybody's head. Lets it bounce, and it gets a great roll for Wyoming. It rolls down to about the 16-yard line. Wow.
That was a long punt.
That was a very long punt.
about
That's from the 25 to the 16, so that's about a 60-yard punt. Indian Hill's had a little bad luck the last 2 weeks. Last week, Indian Hill had Glen Estee backed up, and their punter got off a 70-yard punt.
Well, that one he
And that
outkicked the coverage. He outkicked the coverage. Price made a good decision to let that go because he wasn't in position to make the catch.
Right.
It just got a good Wyoming
Plays like that
bounce.
can change the game. The way the game is played, so Indian Hill's going to have to put some first downs on the board here.
6:22 left in this quarter.
And they run the sweep, and Jeremy Hamilton still fighting for yards, and he picks up about 4 yards.
He found a little hole over the
He was close to breaking that big time.
just over the left side of the Wyoming defense.
Yep.
Little inside handoff. Got a good block in here by the right side of our line and picked up a little hole. Made some of that on his own.
Well, that's what we need, and Indian Hill doesn't necessarily have to chew off big chunks of yards, but they've got to make it so when they have to throw with a freshman quarterback, it's a short throw.
Got 2 wide receivers out to the left. Fake handoff.
And it's the inside reverse, and it just smelled out, and that is thrown for maybe a yard loss.
That was the running back on that was Kendall, I think.
2 yard
Number
loss.
2, Pope
point of attack was not blocked, so it's a yard lost, and it will bring up a 3rd and 9.
The big running back Pope made the tackle on that one, so he's effective on both sides of the ball. Ollie Kendall, that's his 2nd rush of the game. He hasn't found much daylight yet, but maybe we could break him a little bit later in this game.
Let's see if Indian Hill can get the ball on a crossing pattern to number 21 here.
He's a big target.
Big target, easy to hit, crossing the middle. They run the draw play to Jeremy Hamilton, and he cuts off right guard, but only gains about 3 yards. His number 44, Zach Bukavalis, brings him down, and that'll bring up a 4th and 5 for Indian Hill. So Indian Hill's going to have to punt it away again.
Jeremy Hamilton ran that ball. He's had a very good season. He's a senior. He's 5'10", 185 pounds. We've seen him we've seen him a big part of the offense. He's played great linebacker already this season and already this game. He's been a great player for Indian Hill over the past 3 years, and he's going to be sorely missed next year. It's a hard man to replace.
Brady Rogers deep to punt. Wyoming does not rush. They're in for the return. A nice punt by Grady. Sends number 9 back deep, and he tries to get around the end, and he does get around the end and takes it up the sideline. And he is finally brought down. What a great return.
Dantzler got a very good block just after he caught that ball. One of the Wyoming players coming back and wiping out.
The key to that was a contained man for Indian Hill. Started to break into the middle until.
If you look at the replay here, you can see there's the block. There was the block right there that sprung him.
Well,
and we're looking for him here. He's just outside the camera angle, but you can see the
camera.
pursuit come finally. Finally, Kendall trips him up, and Dantzler tried to make a jump over him.
And they come back in their I formation to pound the ball, and they're back to throw, and he throws a quick out to number 25. And
25 is Anthony Wright. Anthony Wright just ran a quick out. Gale knew where he was going to be. He just made a quick 3-step drop. Looked to his right. He was going to that receiver the whole time, and it was a good route. And it got a 1st down, pick up about 11 on that play.
Well, to go back to that punt return, one of the things that oftentimes that young players make in the way of a mistake is before you can come and close the distance from the outside toward the inside returner, you have to get as deep as the ball carrier. If you try to close it too soon, he'll go around you to the outside. And that did happen to Indian Hill. You got to get as deep as the ball carrier before you break down and go back to the inside. And they're back to throw again. He's wide open on a crossing pattern across the middle, number 1 into the end zone for a touchdown. That's Jeff Davis. So it came right back out throwing. And again, Indian Hill, when they can make them have to throw, we do well. But when they can run that play action pass and the threat of 32 running, they're a tough team to handle.
Those were 2 very precise throws by Gale, the quarterback. He drops back. He's got plenty of protection. The fullback's looking for somebody to hit.
Right.
Throws a tight spiral that Davis gathers in about the 5-yard line, and Sweeney can't stop him from going in.
Well, what they've done is they've gone to throwing on 1st down instead of running. Indian Hill has loaded the defense to take away that run.
That one looked like it was sailing a little bit to the right.
Indian Hill is running 8 in the box, maybe 9, and so they're throwing the ball.
That one could have gone a little bit to the right, that kick, but I think it just snuck in inside the right goalpost.
Well, that puts Wyoming back on top. It only took them, 2 plays?
Well, we got a barn burner here, I'll tell
2
you.
plays to go after that good punt return. So they took that punt, ran it almost back, and then scored in 2 plays. So Indian Hill's going to play better defense than that.
Indian Hill took the early lead. Wyoming came back and scored. Ward picks off a pass and gives Indian Hill the 10-3 lead, and then Wyoming strikes very quickly with a great punt return and 2 passes by Gale to take the lead at 14-10 with 3:47 left in the first half. So this game is shaping up to be quite a struggle here, Larry. Both teams are certainly excited to be in the first round of the playoffs, and they're playing their hearts out here.
Well, Wyoming lines up to kick off, and again, they're going to have to be ready. It'd be very doubtful that they're going to kick it deep. I think they'll kick it a little deeper than last time, but it's going to be some type of a pooch kick. On the ground.
They let it go back to the deep
And
end.
Sweeney picks it up, and he's right up the middle with it. And there he goes, and he's outside.
Oh, Sweeney looked like he had a little hole there. He did have a
well,
hole
he
to the
still got the
outside.
ball out to the 46-yard line.
That's very good
great
field
position for Indian Hill again.
There's 3:39 left. There's still plenty of time for us to punch this ball in, and we've got good field position to do it.
Yep. So Indian Hill.
Here we have the
Going to come up, and let's see what they do on 1st down.
Little
They've been
replay.
very ineffective, except for the opening play of the game on 1st down. And they haven't been able to really run the ball much at all. Take away that first play, and they probably aren't averaging 2 yards a run. So they've got double wide receivers. Made their defense walk away. Xander's back to pass. There's not much pass rush.
Right here.
And he throws it.
Oh,
and it's
nice caught.
Oh, it's dropped.
John Perrin looked like he made a tremendous catch on that. Xander's made a good throw, let him in full stride. Perrin had both hands on the ball,
right,
and just slipped on the grass, and when he hit the ground, the ball pops out. So never had full control of the ball. Looked like a good first down play. He had a couple open receivers. Rogers was open here in the flat. John Perrin is now playing wide receiver for the Braves. He's 5'10", 170. I think he grew 10 pounds since the last time they had that. that
Xander's
graphic
back to
up.
throw again. Stands in the pocket well and throws to Rogers.
Oh,
and it's
God!
Off Rogers' hand and almost tipped to the other Indian Hill receiver.
Well, he threw in some coverage there and still got his man. Rogers, I think, was surprised that ball was coming to him.
I think so. I think Rogers. I mean, it's kind of hard the way those receivers are crossing to tell who it was thrown to. But both receivers had a chance at it, and neither one could come up with it.
You can see the replay here. Sanders makes the throw. He's obviously going to Rogers. Oh, he had both hands on the ball, just couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, just
and
didn't catch it.
Who was it back there? Kendall was back there with him,
right,
and almost had a shot at that
so
tip.
Indian Hill lines up 3 wide receivers to the right.
Sanders back again, looks again. Oh, we've had 3 passes that just are in and out of our hands. We've got to make those catches.
Well,
Sanders,
you know what? Sanders will settle down and throw the ball in a little bit more of a catchable spot. 2 of those could have been caught, I think, but
I think that was to Perrin.
That was
to Perrin.
Sweeney. The last one
was
was
to
Sweeney. Yeah.
Well, he slipped down before that ball got there, and I think it threw off his timing a little bit.
Well, it did, but again, it's going to be second half is going to be very interesting. If Sanders continues to throw the ball that well, Indian Hill will make a lot of big plays that second half.
Nice high boot.
High deep punt. Number 9 goes
Drives
back and lets it hit.
back.
Ball
25
by
picks it up.
25, and
right.
he's still running.
That's Anthony Wright. He's trying to find some running room, but pretty much just picked that. He may have got more distance by just letting that ball bounce the other way. I mean,
he might have, but it was nice try by 25 to make a play.
If you look at the replay here, the ball comes back. Rogers kicks it out beyond their coverage, and their right is to pick it up. He's looking for some running room, but the Indian Hill coverage is there. He slips one tackle, looking for some room, but by this time there's too many Braves around him. I think because
all right, let's see if they come out throwing on first down. They quit running the ball. And they come out with a toss sweep to number 1. Picks up about 6 yards.
That's Jeff Davis. Plant that.
Point of attack, well blocked.
He planted that left foot and took it up inside and found some running room up inside of our end over here.
Right. 2nd and 4.
Ricky, I think, got off that tackle. Might have the replay coming up here to see that pitch over here to Davis. You can look
job.
where the running room is. We just missed
too.
him. We just missed him, and then Ricky comes
all right,
and finishes
back in
it
the
off.
I formation with the wing. And they hand off to 32, and he keeps his feet, number 1, he keeps his feet driving, picks up the first down. That was a good job of running there. The initial point of attack was pretty well played, but nobody was able to wrap up the ball carrier. He kept his feet grinding, picked up about 5 yards and a first down. So that brings up 1st and 10, 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. Clock is running. Ball is on the 32-yard line, so I wouldn't doubt you see a play-action pass here with an attempt to get the ball down the field a ways now. And they go double wing. Send motion. 3 receivers to the defense's left. Back to throw. Throws a quick screen pass. It's almost picked off by Indian Hill. I'll tell you, that was a pass they threw against us last game. That was a lateral.
Yeah, you know what? And we had 2 guys that could have had hands on that ball.
Yeah, that's a lateral. You'll notice, see where they're putting the ball down? That was a lateral.
Have a little
and then they threw deep on that pattern.
You can see the replay right here. You can look at Gale coming back and looking to his right side. Man in motion over there. I think that's going to be the receiver, Dantzler, over there. He looks, he just throws back behind him. If you look, the ball pops up, and the Wyoming player just, number 1 was there, got his hands on that ball, or Jeremy Hamilton would have picked it off and gone all the way.
Yep. And they send a man in motion, and they roll out, and quarterback's going to run.
Rogers,
and he's thrown for about a 1-yard loss. Nice defense by Indian Hill. They covered the initial receivers and forced the quarterback to run in the.
That was Brady Ward that broke up in there. They couldn't block him. He blew up that play before Gale could pick out his receiver, and he took off running in the right side of our line.
Right. And this brings up a 3rd and 12 for Wyoming on their own 30-yard line. So big play for Indian Hill, force them to punt. We get the ball back.
57
Not much time.
seconds
There's
left.
only 50 seconds left, so not much time to do, but who knows? You could have a bad snap on the punt, could block the punt, and end up with some points out of this.
Looks like they're going to be pretty conservative on this play.
And they're running the sweep. And a nice job by the defense. And Indian Hill
Well,
lets the clock run. They don't call timeout.
Kendall did his job on that play. He stayed at home on the reverse and turned it up inside, but there has to be our interior support has to get that ball carried before
Right.
they
The
before they pick up any
linebacker
yards.
overran the play to the left, and could not get back to make the play. Indian Hill calls timeout with 28.6 seconds left in the second quarter.
Well, they're going to make them punt. Maybe we
Right.
can make something happen on the punt return here.
Right? Either that, or we could block the punt, or it could be a bad snap and we get the ball. So you never know. Now they had, in watching their film, I really think that the punt formation that they use, Indian Hill could block a punt if they execute it correctly.
We really haven't.
So we'll see if they use a punt block in this situation.
And we really have. It looked like we've been setting up the return thus far in the game because we really haven't put much pressure on their punter.
Right. Well, I'll be able to tell right away if they've lined up to block it.
Okay, 28.6 seconds. Wyoming with a 14-10 lead. The ball's on the 44 with a 4th and
And their
about
punter is back.
4 yards.
No, they're not going to block.
They got number 25, Anthony
They may
Wright,
try. No.
or 52 is their punter.
And it's a shank off the
Scott
side of
Gutman
his foot. And
gets
it's
it
out of bounds at about midfield. So Indian Hill will have 22 seconds, enough time to run 2, maybe 3 plays. Chance to get the ball down for a field goal or maybe score on a broken play.
That was a shank. It did go out of bounds, but I don't think their punter's too unhappy with that because it keeps it out of the hands of our 2 punt returners.
Sure.
Sweeney and
I think their coach would be happy with anything that we can't catch and return.
I'm with you. I tell you, and he's employed that tactic now for 2 games, and certainly that was a place
Looks like
to do
they've
that.
gone to a 2-deep zone. Let's see if they've gone to a 2-deep zone. Indian Hill doesn't run a formation with a tight end. If they did, it might open that guy up. Yep, they're in a 2-deep zone. So Indian Hill, and they've walked away the linebackers, try to bump the receivers as they try to get off the ball, and they throw the go pattern, and it is a little short. Underthrew it just a little bit. He threw it
That was
high to the outside to John Perrin.
Perrin was the intended receiver. Pope was on the coverage over there. I think we had the matchup we wanted because Perrin certainly has the speed advantage over Pope. But that was he threw that to the long side of the field. That was a long throw for the freshman and just underthrew it a little bit. Perrin made every effort to get to that ball and just couldn't come up with it.
16.8 seconds, so we've got time for 2 plays. And Indian Hill in tight formation, they might be kneeling the ball down to end the half, which they do.
Yeah, they're gonna end the half on that play.
So folks, it's halftime. Score, Wyoming 14, Indian Hill 10. And we'll be back in just a minute to bring to you a very exciting game, the second half.
Hey, before we leave, Larry, I just want to tell you that they're going to run the tape that endorses the Indian Hill school levy. Don't go get a sandwich and a Coke now. You can stay there and we're going to explain to you why the Indian Hill school levy is so important to our school system. What a great job the Indian Hill schools are doing, and why we certainly they deserve our support.
Well, they certainly do. The kids have proved their hard work through their hard work that the education system in Indian Hill is doing great, and so watch that with some interest. And we'll see you for the start of the second half, folks.
It'll be a great halftime.
Cole getting ready to start the second half of the Indian Hill, Wyoming Division IV high school playoff game at Bob Lewis Stadium in Wyoming. And Elmer, it was a bang-up first half.
Well, Larry, there was a lot of exciting plays in that first half. A lot of back-and-forth scorings. Both teams had the lead twice. Wyoming's ahead 14-10, but I'm sure they don't feel very comfortable with that lead. Just to go over the scoring for you a little bit as I remembered here. Indian Hill struck first. Jeremy Hamlin broke off a long run down to the 10-yard line. Indian Hill tried 2 pops into the line, and then a pass play that didn't connect. So Rogers came in and booted it through for a 3-0 lead. Wyoming came back and scored. Scored to take a 7-3 lead, and then really the play of the first half that sticks in my mind is Brady Ward picking off a Gale screen pass and taking it into the end zone to put Indian Hill again ahead 10 to 7, and then Wyoming came right back. They got a very good kickoff or punt return from Dantzler, and then Gale started. He got cranked up a little bit and hit Jeff Davis in the end zone for a 14-10 lead that we have right now. Back and forth scoring. Both teams are landed on the line. I mean, you're in the playoffs. You're 1 game and out. These people don't want to. Indian Hill and Wyoming want to continue their season, and the only way to do that is to win here.
Well, that's true. And what I found interesting in the second half was how Wyoming changed their game plan. Indian Hill was really stuffing their run by the middle of the second quarter, so they went to throwing on first down, and it produced a touchdown, their second touchdown, in 2 plays from about 50 yards out. They had a 12-yard play, and then they had a long gainer of about 40 yards to score. And
well, Gale's been a weapon for them all year.
Right.
And when you have a potent running attack, you have tailbacks like Davis and Pope, and then Gale can pick his spots. Like I said, he's had 65 completions for 978 yards and 9 touchdowns. Now his 10th today. So he's a real threat. He's a real big part of their offense. What do you think some of the things that Indian Hill needs to do to get their offense on track and put some points up here?
Well, Sanders as a freshman looked a little tentative in the first half, but by the end of the second quarter, I thought he threw the ball very well. He just missed 3 passes in a row, really right to the receivers, and we just didn't simply catch the ball. All 3 of them could have been caught. One of them should have been, which would have produced a first down. So I think he's starting to throw the ball a lot better. And we need to be able to run the ball a little bit better. Not a whole lot, but a little bit better. And we can pick up 4 or 5 yards on first down, so it gives us the option of running or throwing on second down.
Larry, another thought I had, we lined up in the I formation with Ricky in the fullback position a couple times this year, had limited success with it. Do you think that's something that they ought to do to maybe open up the running attack a little bit?
Well, I don't know if that's going to.
If you look up on your screen, Grady Rogers, one of the real stalwarts on the defensive backboard. He's 6'4", he's 185 pounds. He's a senior this year. He was all league in the defensive backfield last year, and he's really done it. He broke up a wonderful pass in the first half toward the end of the second quarter that stopped the Wyoming drive, and he's been a solid performer for the Braves all year long.
We're almost ready for the kickoff, and again, Wyoming has kicked off. This will be their 3rd kickoff, and they've kicked it short. They will not kick it back to Sweeney and McLean for fear of their ability to return it. So
our front
line has to be a layer. We've already recovered 1 onside, and they'll probably, and they do. They pooch kick it short again. That ball is out of bounds, so Indian Hill will have the choice of having them that was almost recovered by Wyoming. That was darn close. I tell you what,
number
Indian
7,
Hill's got to be careful.
Number 7, Ryan Shelton for the Cowboys. Got down there. He actually had a better shot at the ball than any of the Braves teams. So that was a good hustle play by number 7. Sweeney was the closest Indian Hill player to it, and he judged that it would go out of bounds. So I think the Braves will have the option to take the ball where it went out of bounds, and they'll end up with, again, very, very good field position.
That ball's
to
on
start
the almost 45-yard line. So first and 10 Indian Hill, and let's see if Sanders can pick up the passing attack a little bit in the second half, and if we can get a little bit better job of running the ball. So here we go. Indian Hill comes 3 wide receivers to their left. 1, Jeremy Hamilton, remains in the backfield, and it's a sweep. And it's a trap, and they're able to pick up about 1.5 yards, 2 yards on first down.
Larry, that's that inside handoff to Jeremy Hamilton. 1 back in the backfield out of the shotgun. He's got to hit a seam. You know, he's got to use his speed, and the offensive line's got to open a hole for him here. There's no fullback to get in there and make a block for him. So that's been really the Indian Hill's best running play this season.
Well, the way Wyoming's defensive line plays, they're not real good at rushing the passer, but they play right soft at the line of scrimmage to stop the run. So Indian Hill's had plenty of time to throw the ball. There we go. Finally got a completion. And he gets the first down, breaks a tackle, breaks another, and picks up an additional 7 yards after the catch. Nice yak.
That was Ollie Kendall on the receiving end of that Zanders pass. First down. That was an underneath pattern. That was a good short pattern for Zanders to throw there. Ollie Kendall makes a good full. Let's look at the replay. Zanders stands up there, throws off his back foot, hits Kendall. He's looking for some running room. He's not giving up any. Kendall knows where he is on the field. He's not giving up any yardage, so he knows where he knows he's got the first down. He's not trying to juke anybody. He's just looking for the open field and gets a nice gain after the catch.
Indian Hill, 3 wide receivers to the right. Back to throw, and again, not a whole lot of pass rush. Wide open receiver, and that is that
number one, John Parent.
John Parent. And what Indian Hill has done here in the second half is they've come out throwing the ball. They're not trying to throw the ball as deep. They're throwing some short patterns and a little bit of crossing patterns to beat the zone.
Well, Larry, that was the same pattern to the other side of the field. We put 3 wides over there. We run two of them to run off the backs, just run them long. And Parent breaks off underneath the defense, and Zanders hit him right on the numbers to pick up another Indian Hill first down. Another same type of formation to the left-hand side. Fake handoff. No, he did give it to Jeremy. Jeremy's got some running
outside.
room.
And he's caught from behind. Good quickness on the defense's part, and that's number 44 again. And that's one reason Indian Hill hasn't been able to run. Number 44 has patrolled that middle very well.
Bukavalis has done his job in the middle of the defense. That time he just ran Jeremy Hamilton down from behind before he could get up a good head of speed. If you look at the replay, Jeremy looked like he has some running room, but there we go. Big number 44 corrals him around the waist and drags him to the floor, to the ground.
All right, Indian Hill, 3 wide receivers to the right. 1 back remains, Jeremy Hamilton to help with the pass blocking. Zanders throws again, wide open. And he breaks a tackle. And he's down to the 15-yard line, and that's inside. That's a first down.
Another first
Picks
down
up 12
pass.
yards, first down.
Zanders has thrown 3 passes this half. All of them were right on the numbers. That's that same play. You 3 wides. 2 of them run fly patterns to run off the defense, and Parent just beats his man to the outside.
Well, Indian Hill hopes to force them to have to try to blitz, and once we can get them to try to have to blitz, then we can start running the ball on them. So far they haven't been able to blitz, and they have not been able to rush the passer. There's a blitz, and Zanders gets the ball off, and it's picked off. Down the sidelines is number 1. So there they came with the blitz, and Zanders got the ball away, but not a good throw, and it's picked off by number 1.
I'll tell you what Zanders did on that play. He watched Sweeney the whole time. If you look at the replay here, you look at Zanders' head. He never moves it from Sweeney, and the defensive back looks back there, and he knows where this ball is coming, and he breaks on the ball. He's got a much better chance to get it than Sweeney, and he's got to look that defensive back off there. He just never looked him off.
Well, he's a freshman. He's a young guy.
Wyoming gets the ball deep in their territory.
And they run that I formation, and number 1, Davis, is tripped up after about a 4-yard gain.
Got a little bit of daylight there. Nice tackle in there. I didn't see who made that tackle there.
No, I didn't, but that's the thing that Indian Hill at times has not been able to do, which is stop that running back from falling forward for that extra 2 or 3 yards, as opposed to sticking him right in the hole with a good.
If you look at the replay here, look at the replay. He comes up. He's got a big hole.
And he's tackled from the side. And the same play. And that's a pretty good play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and a long 2.
Well, that's what an I team wants to get, what kind of situation they want to get in. They want to get in the 3rd and short. You can't just defend the run. Anytime Gale could rise up and hit a wide receiver, so you got to play him honest here. So it's going to have to be the interior line and the linebackers that stop this
32
third
is
down
in the
play.
game. 3rd down, an important play. They've got 32 in the game.
Using Pope kind of sparingly on the offensive side of the ball.
And he is wrecked hard, and I don't know. That's going to be close.
You know,
That's going to be real close. It depends on the spot. I think he's short, but
I think
we'll
he
see.
is too. He got a little bit extra yards as he rolled over some of his players, but no, they're calling it a 4th down play.
It is 4th down and about half a yard, and Wyoming is going to have to punt the ball away, and this will be interesting.
That was a very big stop.
Boy, that was a big stop. That was, I believe, number
If you look
68.
at 69 Harding. If you look at that replay, you know, pretty much the whole interior of the Brave line just jammed it up. Broughton had to do a good job in there and just making a pile, and Ricky came and cleaned it up.
And nice
That was
long
Gutman.
spiral punt again that Indian Hill does not field. It can't because it's out of bounds. Indian Hill, great field position again at the 39-yard line.
That was Gutman on the putt for Wyoming. Same strategy, kick it out of bounds or deep into the sideline, so the Braves can't use their return play.
Right.
The return play, which is a reverse or a fake reverse,
Right.
and you got to get the ball, in the middle of the field or close to the middle of the field, so you can make the defense go from one side to the other.
Well, Indian Hill again, that's nice defensive stop, 3 and out, keeps the defense fresh. Now we're back on the attack, and let's see if Sanders can take them down the field again, throwing the ball.
We got away with one there, Larry. That interception didn't hurt us.
Well, the defense played well, took the ball
Right.
back.
2 backs in the backfield this time. Sanders makes a throw. Oh, he was hit just as he threw the ball.
Yeah.
Had a receiver out there. He was going for big number
Grady,
21.
that's Rogers.
Rogers, he was hit. Sanders was his. He threw the ball, and that one just kind of floated out there ineffectively. 7:56.
That's the first, well, I guess that's maybe only about the second time out of 25 pass plays or so that they've had any pressure at all on the pass.
Yeah, our line has done a nice job keeping the big defenders from
Right.
Wyoming off of it. They got some big, they got some big players up there on the defensive
Right,
line.
and they've made a change in their defensive front too. They've moved 53 out of the middle, and they put 75 in there. Sanders throws, and it's wide open over the
my
middle.
goodness.
Oh, and a fumble. Indian Hill fumbles. It's picked up by number 9. Well, I'll tell you, that was a big play. Kendall caught the ball, and he was hit hard. He fumbled, and number 9, Eric Dancer, picks it up and returns it about 15 yards, and Wyoming sets up 1st and 10 on about the 32 or 3-yard line. Boy, what a big break for Wyoming
That was
there.
a big break.
They made their break, though, with a good tackle. Here's
The replay will show you this one. Was a great pass. It was a
Nice
good pass
pass.
by Sanders. He got Kendall going right over the middle. There's the throw. Good throw. Kendall's there. He drags it in, and the ball just comes out.
nice
You can
tackle
see
by number 25,
That was 25. He's the punter.
Anthony
too.
Wright.
Right.
Indian Hill back for a sack, and a big loss by Wardeman.
Sam Wardeman.
Boy,
Wardeman.
what a big play. That was a big play for the defense.
This
Could have been field position that started to put the game away for Wyoming, and now they're looking at 2nd and 20.
Look at the replay here. You can see Sam pull him down at the end of that play. Sam is just, he's a big sophomore. He's done a great job for us all year long. He's going up against one of their biggest senior linemen. I think he's going up against Gutman, number 50. He's a senior. And Sam got in there and made the play. Yeah, Sam's against 50s. Scott Gutman, he's a 6'5", 210-pound senior. Sam's a sophomore, but he still finds that seam, gets in there, and makes the play. Good job, Sam.
It's all about want to.
He's wanted to all year long. He stands out on the defensive line for the Braves.
Back in the I formation. Indian Hill threatens a blitz. Got the rollout bootleg again, and he's going to try the throwback, but he takes off for the run. I'll tell you, 32 was wide open on the throwback again over here on the sidelines, but he couldn't get the ball to him. That was a play that they opened up close to the opening play of the game for them when they threw back to 32, and he was out of bounds on the catch.
Brady Ward flushed him from the pocket there. He just couldn't make the tackle. If you look, Gale's back. He's looking for a receiver. He sees
looking back to
just
try to
can't
throw it,
find-
and there's Brady Ward right in his face.
Yeah, before he can survey the whole field, Brady comes in and
So now it's 3rd and 13.
it was a good play. We still got a long way. They still got a long way to go for the 1st down, and Brady broke up that play.
And it's a good place for this where they run that reverse, but not this time.
Gale
He
back
rolls
to
out.
throw.
He's throwing deep. And it's tipped and almost intercepted by Indian Hill. Number 2, Ollie Kendall, came close to picking that one. That would have been a great place to pick it.
I think that one slipped out of Gale's hands, Larry, and the Indian Hill players had a better chance at that ball than the Wyoming receiver. So,
Well, nobody was really open, and it makes you wonder if he really threw it with authority.
Yeah.
And so I would assume that they'll punt the ball, try to back up Indian Hill.
Ollie Kendall Ollie Kendall's been, we've called his number a lot today. He's
Yep.
a tight end and linebacker.
So they are back to punt.
Kendall, I think, is only a sophomore, so we're going to see him around here a long time.
Right.
Oh, almost got the
Almost
ball.
blocked the punt. That was close. And that ball goes into the end zone, and Indian Hill will have a first down at the 20. Boy, that was close. We should have had that one.
Had the block on. You know,
Shoulda
they
had that
started
one.
on the 37-yard line. We get it on the 20. That's only a 17-yard punt for Wyoming, so not much of a big change in field
Well, I'll
position
tell you, that was
there.
a real break by Indian Hill. The defense this year. How about that? 3 and out twice in a row.
They stepped up. I mean, that first down play where they sacked him was a great play. It forced them to get out of their I formation rhythm.
Yep.
And you see what happens when we force them to go to the passing game. They just can't quite get it done as
All right,
effectively.
Indian Hill back again. 2 backs in the backfield. And they run the
There's that
X in the backfield with the backs. A little bit of an inside trap, and it looks like it might have had no gain.
That's that inside handoff to Jeremy Hamilton.
Right.
It really hasn't been much there for him today.
Well, that play worked the first play of the game for 63 yards,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's gained 6 yards since.
Yep.
And 75 now has come out. It's number 75 for Wyoming has come out of the game, and into the game is someone else who can rush the passer a little better. They've had a hard time rushing the passer. 2nd and 10 for Indian Hill.
Sanders
Out
in
of the
the
shotgun.
shotgun again.
He
Little
rolls to
rollout.
his left, stops, throws, and it is tipped. Tried to hit Sweeney on a crossing pattern.
Well, a little different action there, Larry. We
Right.
had Sanders rolling out to the far side of the field there.
Right,
It's kind of thrown thrown across his body a little bit.
right.
Had an open receiver there and just didn't quite pull it in.
Well, that's a good play on the offense's part to try to get a little movement in the backfield so that it's not just the same look for that defensive line every time.
If you look at the replay, there goes the ball. Who was that?
Tipped by the receiver, Sweeney.
Sweeney just got a hand on it, couldn't pull it down. He needs
Indian
to
Hill
get both
goes
hands
3
on
wide
that ball.
receivers to the right. Throwing back to the backside on the
Nice
oh,
play.
nice stop. Now
Sweeney
there's
gets some room.
Sweeney gets some room. He's dangerous in the open field. Maintains the first down and picks up about 10 more yards after the catch. Now that's a play that I talked to Coach Seipel about. We had run with Sweeney. A lot of times we've run the go pattern or the fly pattern on the backside, and we're running around. He's running a go stop.
Here's the replay. Zanders makes a nice tight spiral. Sweeney gathers it in. He starts
Right.
coming across the field. He's looking for blockers. If he can get one block here to turn it up, he's gone. But he just can't find that one block to get upfield. And finally, he runs into the pursuit. Number 25 for Wyoming made that play. Mike Sweeney's stats, he's been the whole offensive package for the Braves this year. He's got 142 kickoff return yards. His punt yards is 34.6, I believe. He's got a ton of receptions. He leads the team in receptions, and he's just done a great job for the Braves all year long.
Indian Hill on the move at midfield, I believe. And they run the draw play to Hamilton.
Jeremy bounce outside. He's looking for some running room.
And
Just
he's
is
going to
not
lose big
there.
time
Yeah.
here. He's going to lose about 10 yards on the play. They did a good job on that play defensively with penetration of the defensive line. There was no place for him to run, and as he tried to bounce it outside, he lost a few more yards. So
Here's
Indian Hill will be looking at a second.
here's the
Second
replay.
and 20.
Little handoff to Jeremy. You can see there's a big pile where he's trying to go. There's no room. Big number 75 is chasing him out of there. Dantzler gets a hand on him and spins him around and forcing him to lose a couple more yards.
Right.
And
All right.
Jeremy
Now Indian Hill comes with
Jeremy hasn't done
two
much
wide
today,
receivers
but
each side. They run a walk away with it. Xander steps up in the pocket and throws a short pass that is caught, and the receiver Sweeney is hit immediately and down, and so it's only a gain of about 3 yards, to bring up a 3rd and 15.
we saw a little a graphic of Jeremy's performance this year. Here's a replay. Here's a replay on this last one. Zanders is back. He's looking for an open receiver. Steps up in the pocket and throws a low pass. It's a low pass, but nobody can get it but our guy. And let's see, that was Sweeney on the receiving end of that pattern, which brings up a 3rd down, about 15 yards to go.
And it's deep to Sweeney, and it's just overthrown to Sweeney on a post pattern. out of the slot. Safety was there, corner was there, incomplete, and it brings up a 4th and 15 for Indian Hill, and they'll punt.
Xanders showed pretty good arm strength on that one, Larry. I mean, he stood back in there and just flung that ball.
Right.
And, you know, Sweeney had a step there, but it was just out of his reach. But, you know, he threw it where nobody could. If you look, he throws it where nobody could get it for our guy, and it just sailed over his head a little bit.
Right. And with experience, he'll put a little more air under that ball so his receiver can run under it as opposed to just throwing it over. Nice punt by Rogers. Nice relaxed kick, and that ball is caught back there by number 9, Dancer. And a pretty good return, straight ahead of about 8 or 9 yards. Nice return. He got what he could out of it.
Dancer's elusive back there. You can say he moves his feet, makes some good cuts, and makes a few people miss.
Right.
People miss for, you know, 6 or 7 extra yards on that punt return.
All right. Well, that time Indian Hill was 3 offensive plays and out. Now Wyoming's offense is back on the field.
Let's
see who's at tailback.
This quarter's moving right along. 3:17 left in the third quarter.
And they have number 1 at tailback. Now let's see if they throw on first down or try to run the ball.
The official calls a timeout here for an equipment problem with, looks like, what is it, Ricky? Yeah,
looks like Hardig has to go out for 1 play for an equipment problem with his chin strap.
So number 51, Mark Musicamp is
Mark Musicamp is in at middle linebacker, and they line up in the eye, and they run the quick toss to the sweep, number 1, and he's dives forward for about a 3-yard gain.
Kendall on the tackle. Ollie made a nice tackle on that to prevent a big gain.
2nd and 7.
Davis picked up about 3 yards on that play. And look at the replay here. You can just see the end of it, and that is Ollie Kendall on the tackle.
Wyoming comes up, same formation. They don't vary things much. Got a double wing.
This
motion
might be
with the wingman.
Little dive to the fullback, maybe.
Well, they've rolled out and thrown, and there's the ball deep, and it's a go pattern, and it is overthrown. Uncatchable ball.
Yeah,
nice coverage, though, out there by number 9, Price McLean. So that would have been a tough catch. He could have seen the ball coming in and fought him for it. I don't think they could have completed that one.
Well, Gale
that brings up another big down for the defense, 3rd and 8.
Gale's had some good passes today, you know, and he's missed a number of them too, Larry. So
well, when he has to throw, when it's a passing down, he has a hard time with it. When he can run play action and catch you off guard, that's when he's best.
Back in the I formation for the Cowboys. Oh, somebody jumps.
Oh, Brady Ward jumps, and that'll give them 5 yards. And supposed to 3rd and 8. It's going to make it 3rd and short 3.
You know, he knows he's got to get good penetration, so he just got a little bit too anxious on that play. Ward is he's going up against one of their bigger defensive tackles. Number 77, Gerard Russell, is 6'4", 225. So he's a junior, and Brady knows he's got to jump hard to beat him to the spot.
All right, they're back in their I formation. Probably run the ball this play. Nope, it's play action pass, and they're throwing out in the flat again, and it's dropped.
Nice play. Good
Number
play.
25 drops the ball. If he catches the ball, he's got the first down and some. But number 25, Anthony Wright, can't hold on to it. And again, when they have to throw, they're not as effective as when they can just go out and throw play action passes on you and surprise you.
Well, we forced them to 3 and out again.
Yep.
Larry, 2:22 left. We're going to get the ball back. Hopefully we'll get some good positions. Yep. You can see
Well,
Gale.
Indian Hill's ready to explode on offense.
You can see Gale rolling out and just off of Wright's fingertips there. And that middle miscue forces Wyoming to put the ball in the air on the punt.
And another short kick. It's going to be caught.
Sweeney takes the ball, makes a couple nice moves. Very, very daring catch of that punt, Larry. Had somebody right in his face, made a quick move, made him miss, made another player miss, and caught the ball and made, a couple 5-6 yards up after the kick.
Well, that's confidence.
We're going to get another look at it here. There comes the punt. You see it from behind the punter. Sweeney takes it. You can see how close that defender was. 2 quick moves. He's a tough man to bring down one-on-one. and just can't break it before the pursuit gets in there.
Well, he's got confidence. That's okay if he does something like that. He's got a lot of confidence in his ability, and that's why he makes big plays. Indian Hill double wide receiver on both sides. Back to throw, and he zooms it a little bit high. Oh, and they're going to call an interference here on Wyoming's defense from behind.
You know, I think that's a great call. I mean, we got to have a clear path to that ball, and we were certainly interfered with. Bryce McLean was the intended receiver over there, and maybe we'll get another look at this and see if we can pick up who made who interfered with Price's ability to catch that ball. Xanders makes a nice throw.
This penalty's from the line of scrimmage in high school. It's not like professional football where you get the ball at the spot of the foul. This is a
I think it was Dantzler on that.
15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage and an automatic first down.
There you go. We'll take him any way we can get him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's 15 of the 20 yards that we would have got had it been in the NFL.
Nice 15-yard gain via the interference call. Puts us
Indian Hill goes double wide
on the 40-yard line, 60 yards to pay dirt with 2:07 left in this quarter. Xanders back again, throws out here to Bryce McLean. He likes to throw to Price, and just can't reel it in there. Number 25.
It's good coverage by 25.
25 is Anthony Wright. He's on the coverage of McLean, and we need to catch some of these balls. They're tough catches, but we got to reel them in to have a chance to beat this
you
team.
got to make big plays in big
Right.
games, and we've had a lot of balls that have really, I think, been catchable, but we haven't hauled them in. So, second down and 10. Xanders has done a great job tonight throwing the ball.
We got Perrin in the slot, Sweeney wide to the right-hand side. Xanders back, he's looking to the right. There goes the ball to Sweeney. Nice catch. Oh,
Sweeney
no!
drops
Oh, Lord!
Another one. Got to make that catch.
It was a nice.
That's one of those balls where you got to catch it in the hands, not let it hit your body, because he tried to catch it into his body, and he was hit from behind as he tried to catch it, and it bounced it right out.
Xanders threw a nice pass there. He kind of slipped it in between two defenders. Hopefully we'll catch just how accurate he was on this replay. Here he's back to pass. Somebody makes a nice block and put it wide. Oh, that ball was tipped at the line. It was tipped at the line. Oh, that's maybe why he break his concentration a little bit when it's tipped at the line. It's a little bit harder to pick up that ball. Xanders back again.
That one he's thrown out of bounds. He had a big defender, number 99, right in his face as he went to throw. Number 99 is a tall guy, and it is he's not listed on my roster. Oh, here, no, don't see him. Don't see a 99 on our roster. So whoever he is, he's tall.
I think they picked him up just for this game, Larry.
Yeah, I could have signed him for tonight. Who knows?
They got him from Miami.
Indian Hill again back to punt. Grady Rogers back to punt. Deep is 9 and 25 for
good long
Wyoming.
snap.
Oh, big kick, big, huge spiral. Sends number 9 Dancer. ADB fumbles the ball. And he's trying to recover it. And still
we got the ball! Get the ball!
Get the ball!
Get
Indian
it!
Hill.
Oh!
Oh, and it is recovered by Wyoming on the 7-yard line. Almost a big play that Indian Hill needed to get field position and score.
That was the play we needed.
Yeah, Indian Hill needed that play, but Wyoming was luckily able to recover. So that backs into that. Great punt, though. That all started with a great punt.
Dantzler made a very poor decision on that. Either he was running backwards, he should have either let it go into the end zone, or as soon as he missed it, he should have fall down, and he tried to pick it up.
Right.
And he just needs to fall down, retain possession of that ball, and give it over to his offense. So we had a chance at a big play there. That could have been a major part of this game.
They got big splits in their offensive line. Probably going to try to run the ball out of there. Indian Hill blitzes right up the middle, and they run the sweep. So it's wide open around the right side of the offense, and they pick up 4 or 5 yards on the sweep.
Perrin on the tackle. Again, the defensive ends over there turned that inside, and our linebacker, the inside linebacker, made the tackle. Look,
here's a replay of the last play. Notice the middle linebacker for Indian Hill blitzing. Opened it up.
Rogers on that tackle and Perrin. So, defensive backs made their tackle. They got to not only knock down passes, they got to get the big hits in there too.
And they hand off to number 32, and he's ineffective on that play. Only gains about 1 yard, which will bring up a third and about 4.
You know, this is not the same Pope that we saw the beginning
I'll
of the
take that back. Third and 3.
Yeah, he's just not running with the same kind of authority that he was. And you
No.
see in the replay there, he's got nowhere to go. He's jammed up in the line, and he just doesn't seem to have the quickness he had, or the ability to bounce it outside like he was doing the last time we played this team.
Well, I said he had a very sore shoulder, which would make sense. It makes it hard to bounce it because you got to run into somebody to bounce off him to get to the outside or make that cut. And they toss it to the outside. Number 32 is going outside, and he is close to the first down. It's going to be close.
Little different tactic. Try to get Pope outside on a cornerback.
And I say it's going to be about half a yard short. Fourth down.
Yeah, they certainly will kick it.
Yes,
they're
sir.
in no position to.
Indian Hill defense does it again. 3 plays and out.
And the end of the third quarter, we got 1 quarter left in this titanic struggle.
And Indian Hill should have some pretty good field position coming into this fourth quarter. Exclusive coverage of tonight's game on the Indian Hill Television Network has been a copyrighted presentation of the Indian Hill High School Video Department in association with the ICRC. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or duplication of any type of the accounts, descriptions of tonight's games are strictly prohibited.
You read that with a lot of emotion.
Well, we mean it.
I think the enthusiasm of the game is just flowing over to the public service announcement.
I went to PSA school.
I hope you didn't pay for it.
No, it was remedial. Well, we're coming up now, folks. Indian Hill in this second half has done a lot better offensively than Wyoming has, but we haven't put the ball in the end zone yet. We've moved it twice and had to. Well, and I haven't moved it twice. Wyoming has had the ball 3 times and hasn't moved it at all. Excuse me, 3 times. So
there you go, a little graphic on the screen there. Larry Eli, play-by-play. Omar Cole, the color man.
So Indian Hill should get the ball back with decent field position. Now this is where it's hard for them to say don't punt the ball.
Well, they
need a good punt because they're only on the I believe the 17-yard line. So if he kicks it out of bounds, it's going to give Indian Hill good field position inside the 40.
They got their punter in the game. They're in punt formation. Certainly they're in no position to gamble with a 4th down play deep in their own territory. So, you know, if he tries one of those short boots out of bounds, I think it'll work against him here. So let's see what the strategy is.
And it's off the side of his foot, out of bounds again.
Well, that wasn't a very good punt.
And that ball is out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
He couldn't have been trying for that kind of a punt. I think it just went right off the side of his foot. Little directional punting. I'm sure he wanted to get it close to the sidelines, but that just came off the side of his foot.
Well, big break for Indian Hill. First and 10, 25-yard line. Couldn't ask for better luck than that.
You know, that's a great field position. We're only down 4 points. This would be a great time to punch one in and
force Wyoming
take the lead.
To throw.
Oh, there you go. We need to take the lead right now. Little timeout to reposition the ball. The referee seemed like he had to get his hand on that ball. That's all. He wanted to touch it. All right, Indian Hill comes up to the line. Xander's in I formation again. Oh, my goodness. Oh.
He fumbles. Oh, he was hit very, very hard right in the face and caused him to fumble. Number 1 for Indian Hill, John Perrin, is socked with a. I have to see a replay to see what happened.
Well,
whether it was a blitz or whether it was a defensive end. What a great defensive play by Wyoming.
He had his eyes on the ball and didn't see that defender coming. Hopefully we'll see this on the replay because he just took a shot right to the head.
Yeah, and there they got Wyoming out of the hole and great field position for them now at midfield. So
you know, we turned a nice break into. Xander's back and
they're running just a quick toss out there, and just as he caught it, he is socked.
Number 7, Ryan Shelton.
Well, he
had the advantage
fast.
on that. Had the advantage on that play. Perrin did not see him coming.
And double wing formation for Wyoming. They
double reverse.
Oh, they
Shelton
double
makes it.
reverse, and they's going
Nice
nowhere. They
job.
lost 3 yards.
Jeremy Hamilton wasn't fooled by all that in the backfield. Came up and made a big play, fans. That was a nice job. There was 2, maybe 3 handoffs in the backfield trying to fool the Indian Hill Braves, but they're too well coached on the defensive side of the ball, and Jeremy Hamilton comes with a good defensive play. Here we go. We're getting them out of their rhythm again,
Out of their
Larry.
rhythm now, 2nd and 12.
We need a break now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they come. Yeah, they might. He's run the ball here and he's run the draw play out of this situation. There's a run. Oh, and he breaks it. That's going to bring up about a 3rd and 4.
Nice hole on that side of the line. This Jeff Davis had a nice burst up into the hole, had some running room, and takes it down.
Picked up 8 yards before Sweeney was able to bring him down with a hard tackle.
Still 3rd down, 4 yards to go. We make a good stop here. We get the ball back and take it down and score. That's the game plan.
Well, we'll see here. Let's see if they throw that pass into the flat to 25 again. It was wide open last time, or whether they run the ball. And they run the quick toss. It's a fumble. Ball gets picked up by Indian Hill. And off to the races.
Kendall, get him!
Kendall. He's going to go. 15, 10, 5.
All right, yeah. Kendall makes it.
All right.
Oh, big
That'll
turnover.
quiet the crowd a little bit. That's
Right
a baby.
there.
Nice job, Indian
Oh.
Hill defense.
Ollie Kendall picks up that ball.
These guys quit cheering on
He
him.
has-
Oh, they're in blue. Sorry.
He's got some great speed. The only person that had a chance was number 6, Gale, and he wasn't gonna get him. I mean,
That's 2 defensive touchdowns today for Indian Hill. Both scores have been on, both touchdowns on defense. Here's a replay of it.
if you look at the replay, number 1 can't find the handle on that ball. It's loose on the ground. Ollie Kendall's got it by now. Look at there, seeing nothing but his dust. He knows where the end zone is. He's looking for the furthest part of the end zone, so number 6 can't get him, and he goes easily for the score. Indian Hill takes the lead, 16-14.
Been an interesting game. A lot of
10:23
turnovers.
left. Rogers trying for the extra point,
It's
extends
good.
the lead to 17-13. What a football game. Ollie Kendall has a great defensive year. He has 5 sacks. He's got 15 solo tackles. He's got 9 tackles for a loss. But none of those plays were as big as the one he just made here on the field.
Well, I tell you what, that's another one of the sophomores stepping up for Indian Hill.
I'm telling you,
They're used to making big plays, and when you expect to make big plays, you make them.
Ollie Kendall made some great contributions as a freshman last year on the defensive end. He spelled some of the linebackers when they got a little bit tired. He's got some big game experience. He was in 2 playoff games last year, and here he is picking up that loose ball. We'd like to see Kendall having that ball because he's got the speed to take it to the house.
Well, I'll tell you, it's good you and I don't get excited over those plays. And Indian Hill comes out to
All
kick
right,
off.
here we go.
And Grady Rogers will be kicking the ball.
Well, now we turned over to our big defensive team here.
His defense has played a marvelous
They've
second
played a
half.
wonderful game.
They've scored a touchdown and held Wyoming. I don't believe they had a first down this game, have they?
I
I
cannot
don't think
remember
so. I
a
think
first
they've
half
gone-
by Wyoming.
They went 3 and out 3 times and then took the ball away there.
There's plenty of football left. It's 10:23 left.
A lot of time, a lot can happen. Been a lot of turnovers in tonight's game too, which is surprising for a playoff
We
game.
got some spring in our step now, Larry. Here
Yeah,
goes
that ball bounced funny. Oh, and then fumble the ball.
number 1 Davis again,
Number 1.
fumbling the ball.
And they bring him down right away at about the 25-yard line.
Good pursuit by the Indian Hill kickoff team. Everybody's around there. Hammer was around there. 28, Hirsch. I think that's Harrison Hirsch was in on that tackle. Like to hear those special team guys getting down there. They're hungry. They're contributing to this ultimate victory here.
All right, here we go. Let's see if Indian Hill if Wyoming comes out throwing or whether they stick to their game plan of running the ball. Let's see, number 1 still remains a tailback.
Got Dantzler split out wide to the right-hand side of the Wyoming offensive set.
Back to throw.
Gale's
Quick
gonna
throw
throw.
to the out. Number 25 breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. He may go all the way.
Only one person can catch him. Sweeney's got to catch him. Catch him, Sweeney, catch him.
Sweeney caught it. That's where experienced cornerback, when you come up to make that play when you're out wide like that, it's not a hard hit. It's just get him down. That was a great play by number 25 to break the tackle. Go down the sideline.
That was Anthony Wright out there. We can see Gale going back to throw. He's only got one thing on his mind, this little out
Right.
pattern.
They
He only
gained about-
wanted 6-7 yards, and made a nice move to shake the Indian Hill defender. John Perrin tries to trip him up at the end, can't quite do it. You know, good thing we got super speed Sweeney back there because he closes fast and prevents the touchdown.
And it's 1st and goal on the 9-yard line.
Well, we still got a chance to stop him here. If we could hold him to a field goal attempt after that big play, it'd be a great job
Indian
for
Hill
the
calls
defense.
timeout. So while we have this timeout, folks, the producer and director of tonight's game on the Indian Hill Television Network is Stephen Buskin. Our coordinating producer is Mr. Dennis Stubbs. All video department games are produced in association with the ICRC. So, Indian Hill's defense going to have to step up big time again. That's first down they've given up this second half, but it was a big play. It gained 25 down to the 9, so it gained, let me see, 41 and 25, 66 yards.
You know, Wyoming wasn't going for a big play there either. They only wanted 6-7 yards on 1st down.
Right.
Nice safe out, and a little missed tackle there hurt us on that play.
Right,
So.
right. Well, that's, again, when you're cornerback, you got to come up and just get the guy down. It's not big hit time.
10:03 left in this first round Ohio high school playoff game.
So 32 is in the game now. They took 32 and they get near the goal line. They brought in their big horse, number 32, Pope. So he's a tailback here in the I formation with a wing. And they got the I formation. He's hit right at the line, but drags somebody forward for about 3, maybe 4 yards. So it'll be 2nd and goal from about the 5 or 6 yard line.
Wardeman was in on that tackle, or I think John Perrin was the one that made the initial hit on him. And John Perrin, you know, is as tough as he is. He still got dragged a little bit by Pope, who outweighs him probably by 50 pounds.
Right.
Maybe
right.
55.
Pope's good running back. So let's see if Indian Hill can stiffen here and force them to have to throw. I formation, they hand off over to the same side, and it's going to be close.
Pope
It looks like it's going to be a 3rd and goal from about the 1 yard line.
You know, Pope obviously isn't 100% today, and yet, you know, he's fighting as hard as he can for those yards up in the inside.
Right. All right, yeah. Here comes what could be play of the game for Indian Hill defense. It's 3rd and goal from the 1 yard line. They've got to hold them out and force them to for a field goal here. And they line up in that I formation again, and here it comes.
We don't expect anything different. Give to 32 off the right side.
Oh, and they stopped these 2 or 3 yard loss. Indian Hill swarms them on defense. Going to bring up about a 4th and 3 or 3.5 yards, so they may have to go for the field goal.
What a big play.
Boy, they sucked it up and played defense there, and they're bringing in the kicking team.
You know, I think that was number 51 that got in there. I hope we can see who it was on the replay.
And let's see, Hamilton's on a blitz. He dives in and he
Hamilton makes it.
That was Jeremy Hamilton makes the initial hit. He stops
Sweeney's
the lead back
in there.
deep in the backfield, forced Pope to have to try to restart, and the defense caught up with him. Great job by Jeremy Hamilton.
They're forcing a field goal. Great job. Great
So
stand.
let's see what happens here. Kick is down, kick is up, and it's good. So we have a tie game with 8:08 left in the 4th quarter. It's 17-all.
Can't get much more exciting than this, Larry. 17-17, 4th quarter with 8:08 left.
Right.
8:08, by the way, is one of my lucky numbers. Now listen, my first son was born at 8:08 p.m. at 8/8/82, and he was 8 pounds 8 ounces. So I predict a victory for the Braves here based on the 8:08 being up on the board right now.
I can't dispute that. Let's hope you're right. Indian Hill is going to have to score, though, to win this game. And it's going to be the ability of Zummy Zanders to lead this offense down the field by throwing the ball accurately. And you know, but this is what big games are all about.
Well,
it comes down to possibly who has the ball last, but this is a fun part of playing football.
And look who makes that big play. Jeremy Hamilton blitzes in there, hits Pope in the back. You know, they were going away from Jeremy the first 2 plays. Here they take it to his side. He sees a little seam, goes in there and makes a hit on Pope and slows him down. The rest of the Brave defense come up to clean him up and forces Wyoming to go for a field goal, tie the game up, and it's 8:08 to the victory here.
Well, Indian Hill's going to have to be wide awake on this kickoff. They refuse to kick it deep to our return man, and it's been nip and tuck as to whether or not Indian Hill can even recover those onside kicks that they have put on us today. So I wouldn't doubt that this is another real short kick, and Indian Hill's going to have to scramble to get the ball. It's short pooch kick.
Get on it. Get on it.
Indian Hill picks it up and it's hit immediately. So Indian Hill has the ball, 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Well, that's Ollie Kendall. Made that big play with the touchdown to the fumble recovery. You handled that kickoff. You know, stopped it from going out of bounds, and probably should have just pounced on it, Larry. What do you think?
That would have been the smart play. But
Yep.
again, he's another one of those young sophomores.
Here's the replay. You can see Ollie gets his hands on the ball. It's rolling around on the ground there. He picks it up once, twice. Now he gets his hands on it.
He's lucky that his teammate threw a block for him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that'd have been a tough play.
Okay,
And Sanders is back.
No,
to
it is
pass.
not. John Perrin is at the quarterback
Oh,
position.
you're right. He is. He hands off and takes it. No, he keeps it on a quarterback draw, and he loses a yard.
Little change up for this late drive here. He just came in for one play. It's going John Perrin, who's quarterbacked this team a lot of games this year. He's done a fine job for the Braves. Little change here late in the game, trying to get a little bit more experienced quarterback in on the game. Maybe change it up and get Perrin loose on a run. He's just as effective running the ball as he is passing the ball. So a little change of strategy here. Try to mix it up against the Cowboys here. Fake.
And it's a rollout.
He's loose in the backfield. He's looking. He's pointing to it. Gets a block. He gets 5, 6.
It's another
now,
7, 8 yard. All
very-
close to a first down.
Very close to the first
It's
down.
going to be about 3rd and I would say 1 yard.
Well, and that's why he's back there, Larry. He's
Right.
an elusive runner. He changes direction on that play, picks up one block and makes a move. And if he didn't get the first down, he's very, very close.
Right.
Okay, John Perrin has been, here's his offensive statistics. He's got 52 passing attempts. He's completed 20. He's thrown for 336 yards and completed 38% of his passes. So, you know, he's been very effective. I'd like to see his running stats out of that quarterback position too.
Indian Hill goes to double wide. And a quarterback sneak it straight ahead for about 1.5 yards. I would say 1 yard, and that'll pick up the first down.
John Perrin taking upon himself to make this first down here. 2 running plays by Perrin. Actually, 3 running plays by Perrin on that series to pick up the first down.
So 1st and 10, Indian Hill, just over the 40-yard line. Substitution into the game for Wyoming is number 42, Omowski. Oh, I can't pronounce that one. I'll say number 42.
Omoisoi.
Omoisoi. I don't know. Tough to pronounce, but looked good running out there.
All right, Kendall comes into the slot to the left side of the offensive formation. Perrin takes the ball, fakes to Jeremy Hamilton, looking for some running room, but just gets mugged.
Yep.
Short of the
He
line
may
of
have lost
scrimmage.
half a yard on that
Yeah,
play.
just gets mugged.
That play has not worked, and Indian Hill again not able to run the ball. And you know, sometimes wonder why they keep trying.
You know, that's the 4th straight
Play
running
that he's
play.
run the
Here's
ball.
You see a replay. Perrin back in the shotgun position, makes a fake to Jeremy Hamilton, and Pope is the one that put the initial hit on him. A couple other Braves, and the unnamed at 99 comes in and cleans it up. Here we go.
And
We got
Sanders back in, a
Sanders
quarterback, back
in.
to throw. His ball is batted.
Oh, my
Number
goodness.
99, again, he's a big guy. He's about 6'5", 6'6". Comes in not so much with a good pass rush, but gets his arms up and knocks the ball down. Brings up a 3rd and 11. Okay, we don't have a 99 on our roster, so we'll give him credit. So another big play for Indian Hill. They need to keep this drive alive. There's 6 minutes exactly left on the clock.
3rd minute.
4th quarter.
3rd down, a little bit more than 10. 6 minutes left. 17-17 tie. Sanders is back at the quarterback position, looking for the ball in the shotgun. Wyoming puts a big rush on him.
And wide open is number 9,
McClain.
Bryce McClain. Wide open, and
Good.
he catches a 16-yard pass.
Well, Wyoming sold out on that rush. I mean, they sent everybody. And Sanders, to his credit, stood in there and delivered a perfect strike to
He
McClain.
sure did. That's one thing that's nice about him is I coached him as an 8th grader. And he was cool in the pocket then, and he hasn't changed a bit.
Yeah, we see a nice see the replay. Good shot of Zanders going back in the pocket. You can see the Wyoming defenders surrounding him. He throws a tight spiral, and McLean just gathers it in a beautiful pass.
First and 10, Indian Hill.
McLean
3
has
wide
had a big,
receivers to the right.
McLean has had a big year.
Sanders back to throw, plenty of time. Oh, and it's dropped. Indian Hill receiver is wide open, but he cannot hold on the ball. It was a low throw, but catchable. That was number 1.
That was to Perrin.
He
just couldn't
Indian
quite.
Hill's got to make a couple of those plays, though, in this last drive. They've got to make a couple of those catches. Not put that kind of pressure on the offense where they got 3rd and 10.
Perrin was on his knees and couldn't quite gather that one in. Hello. Okay, here we go again. Zanders takes the snap and throws it right down the middle. Oh, into a lot of traffic. Number 1, Jeff Davis was the closest to that ball, and he threw it into a lot of traffic that time. Brings up another 3rd down play. Here we go. No. See, brings up another big 3rd down play here in the with 5:27 left in the 4th quarter.
All right.
Here comes the play.
I'm back in line here.
Yeah, Zanders went over and got the play himself from Kevin, so there's no miscommunication problems here.
That brings up a 3rd and 10 for Indian Hill.
Big play
another
here.
big play on the line here. Let's see who's going to make the play here. Will it be Indian Hill or will it be Wyoming? Zanders back to throw. Goes down to the side, and he overthrows Grady Rogers.
Yeah, Rogers didn't know that one was coming. I mean, it was over his head, but I think if he would have picked up the ball a little bit earlier, he could have adjusted to that one. So, we're going to have to punt it away with 5:22 left.
Right.
And hopefully we'll stick Wyoming deep in their territory. And I think if we'll get another shot at this ball. If our defense comes up big,
right,
we can get another shot. We don't, we just need to win. We don't need a touchdown. Rogers has been very, very accurate on his kicks, so
right.
I think we should kick it down, get them deep in their territory, come up with a big defensive play, and hopefully
maybe we'll be lucky and get another fumble back there.
Our snaps have been good all year long. This one's no exception.
Oh,
Rogers.
Nice kick by Rogers. Directional kick over the head and may go out of bounds. It
does
at
kick.
the 1-yard line.
Goodness.
Wow, what a kick by Grady Rogers.
What a kick under pressure. My God. That's at the 1-yard line.
It sure is. That was a great kick.
We don't have much of an angle over here, but that the
referee
on that
marked
side
it with his foot.
Oh yeah, he's standing right there on the 1-yard line. Wyoming is deep in their territory. If we can stick them there, we'll have a great chance to get a hold of this ball. Here's where again.
I wouldn't put it past Barry to throw a play action pass right here either.
Well, our defense has come up big all year long. We've asked a lot out of them, and they've delivered a lot. So. Hopefully we'll come up with a big defensive series on this particular.
Well, I hope our defensive backs are wide awake for the play action pass at this point right here. They may run, but there it is. Run right up the middle, Pope.
Game brings it out to the 10-yard line.
Right, that's a big gainer on first down.
Gain.
That's about 8 yards.
Rogers came up, made the first hit on him, but when your safety's making the first hit, you see the replay here. Pope brings it out to the 10. Rogers puts a good lick on him, and then some. The rest of the Braves, Sweeney and Perrin get in on that tackle.
Wyoming comes up over the ball. Same formation, I slot. 2nd down, 1 yard.
Got to handle
ball on the 10-yard line. 2nd and 1.
Bernie Berry's playbook.
And they run the same play they ran last time. And I'll tell you what, Pope broke a couple more tackles, picks up about 7 more yards, and that will bring up 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line 19-yard line for Wyoming. And there's an Indian Hill player down on the field.
Here comes this play on the replay again. Bernie Berry's playbook must be as thin as a matchbox, actually. My goodness. Give it to Pope right, give it to Pope left. He's running, seems like he's running a lot more authority than he has earlier in the game.
Well, he's a senior. It's a playoff game, and the game's on the line. Sam Orderman is a player down.
Sam is, he's contributed all year long. I think he's moving around down there. I think he'll be up here pretty soon. But Sam has done a wonderful job for the Braves this year. Sophomore defensive
okay. Looks
lineman.
like he just got the wind knocked out of him. He's walking off a little woozy, but he'll be back.
1 or 2 plays, we'll see Sam back in there. Sam, we call his name every week in and week out. He makes good penetration. He's a little bit undersized, and he's a sophomore when he's going against against bigger players. But Sam has just stepped it up all year long. He's very
right,
very
into the
noticeable. in the
game,
defensive
I
line.
couldn't see who came in for Indian Hill. I think it is number 73 for Indian Hill.
That's
And
Rocky.
they run the sweep. That's Rocky. And now it's not going to go anywhere. Oh, and Pope's still on his feet, but he's finally slammed to the ground with a good tackle over there. So he gained maybe 2 yards.
You know, the Indian Hill defense is really putting some hits on Pope. I mean, he's getting a few yards, but he's taking his pops on that one too.
Yep.
And that one was no exception.
Yeah, that's a good job by a senior running back there. He could have gone down easily for no gain. He's still able to spin out of that first tackle and get 2. So they come back again. Surprise, surprise. I formation with a slot. Nope, just straight eye this time. And they run it again to Pope, and he picks up about 4 yards. Good, tough run up the middle.
You know, there's 3:35 left in the game, 3:33. You know, this running game, Larry, takes a lot of time off the clock.
Well, it takes a lot out of your defensive players, too, when they're slamming the ball on you like
Right.
that. So Indian Hill's defense got a big chance to make a difference in this game. Right here, it's 3rd and 4, so they've got to hold right here, get the ball back for the offense, give us one last shot to get a score.
4 yards is a long way for an I team on 3rd down, so I think we're in a pretty good
Right.
position here if
Yeah,
we can make a good
we're
stop.
going to have to cover the flats if it's a pass. And
Gale's
it
going
is,
back.
and there it is. And
Oh,
it's
he
dropped
missed it.
again.
Oh, right.
Oh, 25, dropped it again for us.
25, that
We were
Anthony
lucky.
Wright. You know, that was the same play that he broke a long one on the last series of downs that got
Right.
them their field goal. And this time he couldn't gather it in.
Oh,
So,
and they're going to have to punt. So that
well,
gives
this is what we want. I mean, we
3
got
minutes left in the game.
3
Clock
minutes
stopped.
left, plenty of time. It's still pretty far down in the Wyoming territory, ball on the 25-yard line.
And they got to kick it to us or kick it out of bounds
And,
short again.
You know, their kicker hasn't had a stellar night tonight. I think number 52 is back there again.
Yeah, pretty good snap. Gets off a wobbly kick. Sweeney calls for a fair catch and
Makes a
catches it
fair
on
catch.
the 49-yard line.
And
So
we've
Indian
got
Hill, great field position again.
You know, I mean, we really have a chance to take this game right now, Larry. I mean, we got a short field. We got a great field goal kicker.
2:55 left, so we got all kinds of
We got
opportunity
all kind
here.
of time.
We got the time. We got the players. Let's get it done.
There you go. We're in good position. It's been a back and forth game. A lot of
So Indian Hill comes up. Double wide receivers both sides. 1st and 10. Back to pass. And it is almost picked off by number 25. I tell you, that was close.
Yeah, he
Good
was
throw
in
by
it.
Sanders. That was close.
Well, that's the second pass that number 25 has dropped here in a row, and although that one he wasn't the 10 receiver on that one.
Fans' coverage of Braves football on the Indian Hill Television Network wouldn't be possible without the generous support of the Indian Hill Boosters, Buskin Bakery, the PTO, and the ICRC. Their grants have provided us with the equipment to bring Indian Hill sports off the field and into the community, and we appreciate all that they've done to develop our television programming. Indian Hill comes up 2nd and 10. Double wide receiver both sides. Sanders back to throw, not being rushed. Throws a long, deep ball to the outside. It looks like a mix-up in the pattern. It looked like Grady Rogers stopped, and the ball sailed over his head.
Well, certainly Zami expected Rogers to keep going down the field, and
Right.
a little miscommunication there.
Something. I saw Coach talking to him over there.
Right.
So here we go again, 3rd and 10. If Indian Hill doesn't convert, then there's going to be a lot of time left on the clock for Wyoming to come back.
This is another long 3rd down situation for us. This is the 3rd and the last 3 times we had the ball. We converted one of them with a nice pass over here to Price McLean.
Well, and being able to convert 1 out of 3 third downs of 10 or more is pretty good, really.
Price is
So this is a big play for Indian Hill. Big play in the game. Sanders back to throw. He throws he's Sweeney. Oh, what a great defensive play. Sweeney was open. The ball was just a tiny bit underthrown and jumping up to tip that ball away.
That was number 9, Dantzler, made a nice
Number
play on
9,
that ball.
Dancer. So
Get
here's
another
replay.
look at it. You just look at Dantzler. He saved the game, Larry, with that little
Yeah, that ball was just a little underthrown.
Sweeney
Sweeney
had it
had
in
to
it.
slow down just a step to try to wait for it, and the defender was able to catch up to it. So Indian Hill's going to have to punt now.
He had to look up, look over his outside shoulder, and get his hand up and get a hand on that
2:39 left.
ball.
The clock is stopped. Indian Hill's punting from the 49-yard line. So Indian Hill could use another good 48-yard punt.
Rogers
No
back.
rush at all. Rogers kicks it again. That's a little bit off the side of his foot, but still a good punt. It's out of bounds on about the 30-yard line.
2:34 left.
So it's going to force them to go about 55 yards or so before they'll be able to get a field goal. So Indian Hill's got their work cut out for them. 2:34 left, fourth quarter. 1st and 10, Wyoming. 25-yard line.
You know, they're not really a fast strike team. They run that I every time.
Right,
It seems like they got number one. They got their speedback Davis in there,
right.
and
They may run a halfback pass. They beat us on it last time we were there. So they're not going a halfback pass there. That's just a sweep, and that's going nowhere. That's about 2-yard gain and 30 seconds off the clock, unless there's a timeout.
you know, and this number one Davis tries to bounce to the outside, but you know we've got on the perimeters we've got tremendous speed. Jeremy Hamilton, John Perrin on the other side, and there's just no room out there for these guys.
Right, clock at 2:12 and running. Wyoming just now into the huddle. Number 6, John Gale, calls the play.
I think these people are this is an intense football game. We're down to 1:58 left. It's tied.
And
Both
he's back to
teams are-
pass, and he's trying to throw back to the backside, trying to throw it deep to the backside, and it's caught. That's that same play they have run 3 times tonight. Completed at that time, big time to number 1. It's a throwback after the fake handoff to the running back.
Jeff Davis.
Quarterback rolls to one way, the running back runs the other way, out of the backfield and down the sidelines.
We see the
And here's a
replay here. Gale
It's
rolls
first down,
out.
minute 48 left. They got 1st and 10 on the.
Gale rolls out, makes a nice tight spiral. You can see our defender on the coverage there just got beat. You know, he really didn't even turn around to try to make a play on that ball, and Davis hauls it in for a big gain.
And they're back to throw.
Oh, there's a wobbly pass. Oh my goodness. No, it was
No
broken
good.
up.
Incomplete. Nice defensive play. Excellent defensive play by number 3, Sweeney. I thought he might have had a pick there.
Ricky
What?
Hardig hit the quarterback hit Gale just as he was throwing the ball. That ball came out of there kind of like a lame duck. If you look, let's see if we can see who gets a hand in there to disrupt this pass. Little pump fake. You can see Gale at 63. Boone had hurried him, and he got the pass out there. But you know our defenders made a nice play on that.
All right, and here we go again. Wyoming lines up 2nd and 10, I formation. 1 wide receiver.
Pope
And
again.
he's back to pass. He's rolling out.
He's
And
got
in the
right
flat
way
is number
open.
25. And he's pinned in, but he gets loose, and he may go all the way. Indian Hill's gonna barely able to get him down.
Indian Hill got the ball.
14-yard line.
A fumble.
Indian Hill caused a fumble and took it away. So Indian Hill has the ball with 1:18 left. 1st and 10. Wow, what a defensive play.
John Perrin pulled him down, grabbed the ball at the same time, yanked it out of his hands, and got the recovery. What a great play by
What a great play. I'll
by
tell you,
John
number
Perrin.
25's had a rough night.
Hopefully we can get the tackle on this. You can look out here. He comes out to the right. Gale looks
looking downfield.
deep, and then he finds right wide open. He makes a great move. Rogers blows by him. Jeremy blows by him. McLean's trying to stop his forward progress. Here comes Perrin in here. Watch him strip the ball. Strip the ball and grabs it himself. What a great play by John
So Indian
Perrin.
Hill, they must have called timeout. Indian Hill has called timeout.
1:18 left.
1:18 left. Indian Hill 1st and 10 on
Oh, we got
the 15-yard line.
Larry. I mean, we got to start thinking about overtime for
Right.
a first round of the playoffs. I mean, you can't get much more exciting than an overtime game for the first round of playoffs. Wyoming,
right.
Indian Hill, arch rivals. You know, last 2 times they played, both games were bruising games. Indian Hill came in last year needing to win for a share of the CHL title. Got a big win, 28-14. Wyoming comes to the Hill 2 weeks ago. They used their pounding running game and a couple Indian Hill mistakes to take a 20-0 victory. Got
Right.
a nice little rubber game here, 17-17 with 1:18 left. It
What more
doesn't
could you
get
better,
any
huh?
better than this.
You bet. That's what football is. Makes it fun. No, Indian Hill has not played overtime yet this year. And in fact, I can't remember the last.
I'm going to
overtime
tell you the
game.
last overtime game we had. It was 2 years ago
Deer Park.
against Deer Park. It was we lost that overtime game, and on an interception late in the game, and hopefully we get a better result if we go in overtime this time. Whoop, late flag comes in.
Late flag. Well, let's hope it's a face mask. So we'll wait, let the referees separate. That's a face mask against Wyoming.
That'll
give us a first down and a few yards. So we'll take those yards and the first down and chance to move up the field with the clock stopped.
Here we take another look at it. Perrin is under center this time, gives it to Jeremy right up the middle, finds a little running room. You can see the defender over here to his right just grabbing on his face mask and hauling it in. I hope he got a 15-yarder on that one.
That was 5 yards from the spot of the foul and a first down.
Looked like a flagrant foul to me.
High, Indian Hill, 1st and 10.
1:11 left. Indian Hill brings him up. Handoff again, Jeremy Hamilton. Breaks one tackle.
And he's going to be close to a first down. We did not get enough yards on that penalty to get a first down with the face mask. So it was 1st and 2. And it gains about 1 yard, so it's going to be looks like a 2nd and 1.
Bucavalis all over the field, number 44.
And the clock is stopped with 51 seconds left.
Here we can see it again on this screen. Jeremy takes a hand upside, can't find anything in the missile, try to bounce it outside, and watch big 44 Bucavalis rein him in and ride him to the ground. He got close enough to measure though, Larry. Here's the measurement. Very, very close.
It's going to be 2nd down and about 4 inches.
Yeah, couple links of the chain.
So,
Larry, there's 51 seconds left. We've got a second and very short. It might be a time to maybe fake into the line here. You don't got much time left, and try for the home run ball.
Well, we don't have a formation that would allow that.
Well, but we got Rogers out here 1-on-1 with number 9 Dantzler. Here's the play into the line.
And it's a first down.
He gets the first down.
Rogers has had a hard time today trying to get off the line of scrimmage.
Right.
He's a real tall guy, and they've come up and they bump and run him all night, and he's had a hard time getting off the line. So I would doubt that they would throw that type of pattern to him. It's possible, but
Indian Hill picks up the first down, though. 1st and 10.
Yes, they do. They run the ball for the first down. The clock's still running, 37 seconds. So they'll probably run one play.
Looks like
Rogers bringing the play in.
Well, they're not in any hurry, so it's going to be this ball game will go to overtime.
They might even touchdown, do a quarterback touchdown here. Nope.
18 seconds left. 16 seconds. Have a delay of game penalty on the Braves, so certainly.
So Indian Hill takes a delay of game, which will make it 1st and 15. So obviously they're not trying to.
They're not going to make any big mistakes
All right,
here. They're just
go
going to get
overtime.
this into overtime and see what we can do.
Well,
we had
I
I said the last game we had was Deer Park, but that's not true. Last year, the first game of the season, we went to overtime against CHCA and won that ball game. 12.
Well,
11,
I don't get to see
10,
very many of the varsity games because
9.
I do a lot of the scouting. I scout their next week's opponent, so I don't see them too often. And so it's hard for me at times to get a recall on all the games. So we're tied, folks. We're going to overtime. We'll probably have about a 3 to 5 minute break here, and then we'll come back for the overtime period.
Larry,
We'll be take a break, and we'll be right back with the overtime at Wyoming Stadium. We're back here at Bob Lewis Stadium in Wyoming, where we have a 17-17 tie going to overtime. And Elmer, how does overtime work in high school football?
well, the captain comes back on the field and get the coin toss, and they whoever wins the toss has a chance to either take the ball or defer to the other team. Looks like Wyoming is coming off. Looks like they won the toss, I would guess, from the reaction of the players.
They deferred, I think.
Do you think they did?
Yeah, I think so. I think Indian Hill has the ball.
Well, what happens is you start on the 25-yard line and you try to push it in for a touchdown, or hopefully you get a field goal out of it.
Yeah, about 4 plays, or do you have first down? You can get a first down.
You can get a first down, and you can get a first down, and if you 25. See, on the 25-yard line, you can either score a touchdown or get a field goal.
Then
and
the other team gets the ball.
The other team gets the ball on the 25-yard line, and they have to match you or in fact get more points than you on their possession. It just goes until one team wins. If both teams get a touchdown, they start on the 20-yard line to increase the chances of a score.
All right, and Zanders is a quarterback. Indian Hill comes out. 3 wide receivers to the right. So here we go.
This is going to
battle.
battle.
Indian Hill's going to throw. They throw right away to the flat.
John Perrin with the ball.
John Perrin with the ball, and he gains a very short gain of only 1 or 2 yards, if that. It's hard to tell from this angle, but it was a very short gain, if any, so it'll bring up a 2nd down and 9 from the 24-yard line.
They're asking a lot of the young freshman quarterback, Zummy Zanders. I mean, he's out here in really his first full game as a starting quarterback. He's in the playoff game. It's a dogfight, 17-17 tie, going into overtime, and here he is, quarterbacking the Braves. Hopefully he pushes us into the end zone here.
Well, he's a low-key type of player, so that's what you need a quarterback, somebody that's got control of their emotions, yet is a competitor. So let's see. Here they go, double wide, both sides.
Looks like
Sanders
a mix-up.
back to throw, and he throws to Rogers. Rogers is 6'5", and it's overthrown. So he didn't have a chance to go up for the ball. He overthrew him. That brings up a 3rd and 9.
Well, I'll tell you, it looked like there was a mix-up in the Wyoming secondary there because we had one of their players coming from the far side of the field to the near side, but he did make the good adjustment because that's where Indian Hill threw the ball. If you take a look at it here, Zanders is back to throw, lets it go long for Rogers, trying to take advantage of Rogers' size over there. There is 2 defenders on him, and they had him pretty well covered.
So Indian Hill comes up 3rd and 9. The Wyoming side rooting for their defense. The Indian Hill side rooting for the offense. Indian Hill sends 3 wide receivers to the left. Zanders back to throw, looking to his right. Nice relaxed throw. Wide open is Sweeney, and he's got the ball on inside the 10.
Big time throw there.
At about the 6-yard line.
Go down,
so
Sweeney.
1st and goal for Indian Hill at the 6.
Big time throw. I mean, Sweeney broke off his cut, and the ball was right there.
That was a beautiful throw, and I tell you, this has been the hardest thing for Indian Hill all year. It's been for them to score from 1st and goal, from even to the 2-yard line at 1st and goal. They've had a hard time. So
look at the replay here.
But
Sweeney gathers in the ball. He's fighting for every yard. Dantzler's holding on to him, trying to corral him in. And finally, the rest of the Cowboys come and
I'd like to see him throw the ball to Jeremy in the flat. Give him a chance to put some move, or to Sweeney in the flat, a one-on-one move on somebody.
It'd be a good play to get one of our speed guys out in the flat where we can beat somebody.
Yep, well, let's see. They sent Sweeney. They were sending Sweeney to the right and McLean to the left.
Wyoming
with
calls
Rogers, so Wyoming called timeout.
No, we got them mixed up a little bit there because it forced them to call a timeout. We must have come out with a different.
Well, the good news is the guys they have in the game are not as good as pass rushers as some of the other people that have been there earlier tonight.
Well, Zanders has had time to throw the ball. I mean,
he's had a lot of time.
I don't think they've recorded a sack against us today. We've generally had the time to throw the ball. And, we've had a couple drop passes, but Zanders, as the game has gone on, Zanders has gotten more comfortable back there, and he's delivered some good balls. And certainly that one to Sweeney for the 1st down with a 3rd and 10. I mean, we were talking earlier how hard it is to complete a 3rd and 10 or convert a 3rd and 10.
Correct.
And Zanders, the freshman, comes in and throws a strike to Sweeney and gets us down to the 6-yard line. So we got a first and goal at the 6. The clock is off. It is not a factor in overtime.
Double wide, both sides. 2 wide receivers, both sides for Indian Hill.
Rogers on a slant maybe. Here we go. Slant pattern. Oh, tipped at the line.
Tipped at the line. Good job. Good high balls by the defensive line. Smart play. Indian Hill tries a quick slant over the middle.
Right call, Larry. Wrong receiver,
Well, that could be, but that was a good job by the defensive line. You're taught if you can't get a pass rush and that quarterback goes to throw, you get those arms up, and that's exactly what happened there, and they were able to knock down that pass. Sweeney had the inside on the defender, so if that ball's delivered without being knocked down, that could have been 6.
I think that play is open to Rogers over here on the left side of the field too, because he's one-on-one out there. He's got McLean split way out to keep his defender out of the play. And Rogers has a lot of room in there for a slant, so maybe we'll come back with that same play to Rogers, who has
Well, we'll see if he's able to get off the line of scrimmage clean enough to get to
Yeah.
it, because he's had being a real tall receiver, there's a real art to being able to get off the line of scrimmage and not let that defender take a bump on you. So.
You know, these players all in Division 4, these players stay on the field the whole game, Larry.
Right, a lot of them do.
Wyoming
has a little more depth than Indian Hill, so you know, maybe fatigue will come into this. If Indian Hill only doesn't score, or only gets a field goal, we'll see if the fatigue factor on the defense comes in. Is there a lot of two-way players for Indian Hill?
Yeah, these players have played a tough, hard-nosed football game. Every play has been hotly contested, and here we are in overtime. You know, sooner or later, your legs just don't have the
They put 32 on 21 out here. Let's see if he can get the inside release. He's on the outside release. He's trying to throw it high to him.
Doesn't.
And a ball that's almost intercepted. They tried to run the out and up pattern.
Well, see, they
so
tried
that brings up a 3rd and goal from the 6.
You know, Rogers and McLean did a crossing pattern there. I think McLean was wide open on that play.
Well, he might have been. I was looking at Rogers to see what route he ran, hoping he'd run the slant, but they had a different pattern called.
If you look at the replay here, you can see that Pope has a pretty good defense on him, and almost has a better chance to catch the ball than.
So here we go
Rogers
again.
does.
Indian Hill lines up.
3rd
Three
down.
wide receivers to the left.
Another big 3rd down play.
See where they got Sweeney one-on-one out there to the right side. And up on the draw.
Jeremy's got some running room.
No running room. They stop him for little gain, if any. So that brings up a 4th down from the 5-yard line, and Indian Hill will go for the field goal. Here's a replay.
Look at the replay. Jeremy's looking for some running room, but number 7, who's played a good defensive game, stays home, forces him inside, and the pursuit finally comes up to him. So this is going to forth a 4th down, and Indian Hill is going to go for a field goal. They did get a little bit better angle for Rogers on this field goal. That moved it from the right hash to the left hash. So I think he's a little bit more comfortable with that angle.
And they call timeout. Wyoming calls timeout to try to ice it and maybe to set up a block.
Well, Rogers has had a great season kicking the ball. I mean, I don't know, a stat I have here is that he's got the, last year he had the record for the most extra points. So he's got the school record for the most extra points. And he's been cool and calm back there in the kicking position. Our long snapper, I think that's Ward, has done a great job all year.
Well, he's almost single-handedly won a game for us earlier in the year with a field goal and then a big tackle and an interception when we played Taylor.
Right. You know, Grady has had.
And so he's used to pressure situations, and I don't think, to me, it's a waste of timeout. In all the football I played, I never did figure out why they would call the timeout. All it did was seem to give the kicker a chance to relax, think about what he's got to do a little bit, and kick it through. Well, let's see. Here goes Indian Hill, lines up for the field goal. Kick is away, and it is good.
There it is. Indian Hill is up.
Scores a field goal, which now puts Wyoming's offense on the field with a chance to either win or tie the game.
Well, I like this. I like being up 3 points on this.
Yes, sir.
Get
I
some
do
points
too.
up there. Wyoming.
Their kicker missed a couple earlier in the year on a pressure situation.
Well,
so I'm looking forward. I hope we hold them and force them to try to kick a field goal.
Well,
or take the ball away.
You got to put some points up on the board. I mean, you got to come up here and come away with some points on your first offensive series. Our defense have played well all game. Certainly, this 1st down is a big play for the Braves, and Grady came through in a big way with that field goal.
Good job. Wyoming trots their offense out. 32 is in the game. At wide receiver, they have number 25, Anthony Wright. Number 1, Jeff Davis. Number 7. Tight quarterback out here to the left.
Tight formation. Handoff to Pope.
And they run the sweep to Pope, and he's around the end, and he picks up about 7 yards, 8 yards.
Well,
I'll take that back. He picked up just under 10 yards.
I think if you look at him coming to the outside, he starts up inside, then bouncing it out and looking for somebody to hit. Finally, Sweeney came up, put a hit on him out of bounds, and It's a big play for big 9-yard gain for the
Well, that play
Cowboys on first down.
works pretty well too, as it's hard for that cornerback who they've been throwing that quick out on to come up and react to that run when he's worried about the quick out. So
Little different set. They have number 7 flanked wide to the right this time. Give
and
the
a
ball to
hand
Pope.
off to Pope in the middle, and he bowls up the middle and scores a touchdown, and Wyoming wins in overtime 20 to 23 to 20. So that's the game, folks. It's been nice having you with us in this playoff game. Wyoming is able to come through in the overtime, and again, that pounding running game that Wyoming features finally took its toll on the Indian Hill defense, and they were able to run it in.
Well,
in 2 plays from 25 yards.
You know, that's playoff. That's playoff football. It's overtime football.
Yep.
Quick strike right up the middle, and we go from being ahead by 3 points to losing the football game. So,
well, great job by the Wyoming offense, taking charge of that overtime and sticking that ball right through the Indian Hill defense and into the end zone, and they win in overtime again, folks.
And let's, Larry,
23 to 20.
This is a crushing win for the Braves. They've played their hearts out all game, and just think of what they've accomplished. You know, taking this game into overtime, coming back from a 20-0 loss to Wyoming over Tomahawk, to take this game into overtime, to really suck it up and make Wyoming earn this victory, and you know, it was a great victory for Wyoming.
We're going to replay of the play that with the winning touchdown by P.J. Pope, and you'll notice he starts over a left guard, cuts it back, 1 missed tackle, 2 missed tackles, and then he's got a head of steam, and he's in the end zone.
Yeah, good blocking. He had a hole up in there. He just found some room up in the middle of the defense and took it in for the score and the victory. So
well, thanks for being with us, folks. For our producer, director Stephen Buskin, I'm Larry Eli alongside Elmer Cole saying good night from Bob Lewis Stadium, where your final score is Cowboys 23, Braves 20. So long, everyone.